Hey, welcome back. We're actually live, finally. Sorry, it's been a while since we got together and we needed to discuss some much needed business. So, welcome back to the Sirens Dice Cup. We're glad to have you, those of you that have stuck with us. And yeah, I'm glad to be back, actually. I'm kind of excited. It's been a little while. But we do have some announcements and such, so I'm going to pass it over to Garrett.
So we started a new show a couple of weeks ago on Wednesday nights, Dice Hoarders Anonymous. Go check out the first episode. Ryan and I discussed the first few episodes of the campaign. We've discussed a little bit about the world building and things like that, and the eventual goal is to get the rest of our cast here on so that we can all discuss our characters and things. We also now have a Facebook group called Sirens Dice Cup. Go look at that, like it, join it, all that good stuff. We also have a YouTube channel, so head over there, like, subscribe, click the bell, all that stuff that YouTube wants you to do, all those good YouTube keywords. And then finally, Twitter. We have a Twitter. Look for us on Twitter. All of this, Sirens Dice Cup. It's the only one out there for now. Nobody better steal our thing.
I will destroy you.
For real.
We will hunt you down and
just
find
leave it to
you.
me.
We will trademark it.
We will.
We will be looking for. We'll be looking for questions for the Dice Hoarders Anonymous show on the Twitter and Facebook pages. So if you have questions during the show, instead of leaving them in our chat, go over to the Facebook page and leave them over there. Also, we are going to be having a few changes to our schedule as far as streaming goes for the next few weeks. So please bear with us as we go through these growing pains that we seem to be constantly going through. But we're almost done with them. Yay!
Huh.
I'm hoping.
No.
And that's it for the announcements.
You see, growing pains are a part of it. You never stop growing, because the moment you stop growing, you start dying.
That's a lie. I stopped at like 5'2".
I'm specifically
and never got
talking
any
about
bigger.
business. I am
Yeah.
specifically
Oh, okay.
talking about business. In the world of business, if you stop growing, you start dying, and that is not what you want. So there will always be growing pains. Hopefully, though, they will grow more easily to handle and better the further along we go. Yay! So today we are actually going to take a few minutes because we thought it would be a good idea and hopefully helpful to you as viewers. We're going to go around and describe our characters once more with a little bit of stuff that we've discovered about them thrown in. Each character just going to take a few minutes to describe for you so you can have a better understanding of who they are and how they look. Also keep an eye out because we will be hopefully getting little images of minis and such that we will be putting up during our intro and during breaks and stuff, so you can kind of get a visual for what it is that these characters are actually like. So if we want to go ahead and look back over to our table, we'll go ahead and start with Marwyn.
First go up. Alright, so Marwyn is, racially he is a Mark of Shadow elf from Eberron, but he just looks like an elf with a mohawk, purple dyed mohawk. He has a blue leather, it looks like it was a trench coat jacket that the sleeves had either been ripped or cut off of, that he says he got from a special friend. He is employed by the gentleman, has been since the days he freed himself from his gladiator slave days. He's been working for the gentleman for quite a while now, and his most recent job has been to hunt down the gentleman's wayward grandson. And he has now found his target and is sticking to him as close as he can, except when he needs to throw him away.
Yep, I'm the target.
He speaks with a fine accent that comes and goes.
We're still getting used to that.
Still getting used to it. He tends to be showy with a pair of brass knuckles that he has, but when it comes to an actual fight, he never seems to have them on. But he does keep them tied to his belt. Another sentimental trinket, and he has a black. It almost looks like the ink is made from crushed onyx because it kind of sparkles a little. He has a black tattoo along his jawline up into where his hairline would be, were it not for the mohawk, and that's on both sides. Comes into a point from here and then goes up. So that's Marwin. I'll fight you for it.
All right, Zoria.
So, Zoria is
Remember to speak up.
7 foot tall centaur. She's got white human skin, and her horse hair is like a chestnut brown with matching tail and hair from her head that is in a nice braid. And now her tail is also in a nice braid thanks to one of the other members. She's got green eyes. She's very muscular. She's more towards a draft horse than regular centaurs. She's got scars all over. She has a tattoo on her chest. Her leather shirt is very crude looking piece of leather wrapped around her chest, basically. She looks pretty feral. She has a bow strapped across her back, a long bow that is well used, though she seems to only use it to hunt game. She has a great axe that she has strapped to her horse shoulder. And then she's got some javelins across her horseback. And she's got very basic leather straps and stuff holding any pouches and whatnot around her waist, including her the party's candy haversack.
Shalom.
What you got?
Alright, so this is for Bothagray, or Bo, as everybody calls him. He is a half-orc with red eyes, gray skin, and black hair in a ponytail. Kind of like Garrett's. He likes to wear a lot of green. And he has this cloak on with these like what would they call pendants? I don't know.
Yeah, you just have little
Pennants.
Well,
pen-
brooches.
Yeah,
I think they're
little-
called pennants or
Yeah,
brooches. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
pennants,
think they're brooches,
brooches.
those sorts of things. Yeah.
With a walkway in them, like a gated walkway. He carries a shield with that same exact symbol on it, and a war hammer, and also a crossbow on his back. And then I think that's all I have. I think that's and both his parents are Jester and Ford. Yeah.
Best shit.
From the Almost Mighty Nine.
From the Almost Mighty.
The
Nine.
Almost Mighty.
I think it's your turn, don't you? I can honestly barely remember what my character looked like. So I just know she's short. She's very childlike. Like she looks like she's about 16. She wears a very goth Lolita-ish style clothing. She's got like a dark purple, like a buttoned long sleeve shirt. It's got the frills. She's got like the nice little frill thing up here with an onyx brooch, high collar. a long the skirt that goes to about her mid shins. It's black pinstripe, high waisted. She's got a cloak that is not technically a magical item, but I got permission for it to be magical. Like if it's raining, she picks it up and gives it a shake, and it turns into like a waterproof cloak. Or if it's cold, she again all it does is she takes it a shake, and now it's all puffy and warm, and she puts it on. She is a half elf, half drow necromancer. What is it? Her skin's kind of like a grayish, purpley tone, and her hair is very like silvery white. She's got, I can't remember if her eyes are silver or purple. I am not gonna lie. I wrote it somewhere and I have lost that piece of paper. I
What did
can't.
you want it to
They
be?
were.
I can't remember.
Purple.
Were they purple?
I think so.
I
Did you tell me
wrote
they-
purple eyes.
Yes.
Okay, then they are purple. Okay, because I literally couldn't remember. Thank you guys. And she's got her staff. And she, of course, on her person, she wears a belt kind of tucked off to the side. And there are 3 skulls attached to that belt, which are her family. But she kind of keeps it hidden under her cloak, which she wears all the time. So wise, yes,
Wise choice.
yes. And she's I forget. She's like super optimistic, a little naive, and is older than she appears. I know that that's a thing. She's older than she appears. And I can't remember, what did we discuss? Didn't we say, Mariah, that she was like on the spectrum or something?
Yeah, basically, she very much comes across as being on the spectrum. She's, the more you see of her, the more you realize her mind is kind of everywhere. She's flighty, she's fun, she's young at heart.
Yeah,
You can
so-
tell that she's not always
She's
thinking about
smart.
what you expect her to, but she is highly intelligent.
She is all there. It's just her brain goes in all directions at once.
Yeah,
so
she's highly intelligent
we
but
kinda
distractible.
established that she is a bit on the spectrum, the autism spectrum,
She was mean.
which highlights to Hooray April's Autism Awareness Month.
Woo!
Woo! So
Woo!
look that stuff up. Do your research. Donate. All that. Anywho,
Excellent. I am Northern.
King of the North.
Maybe
about
one day.
Alexis?
Yeah, what about? I think Alexis is next.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Brad, you can't
How
skip
dare
Alexis.
you, Brad?
Go, Alexis, go!
I
To be
Northern.
fair, I couldn't tell the who's
Placement.
sitting next to what
I'm here,
to
You're
where.
sitting next to me.
and Brad is
You
there.
are in between Tasha and Brad. Yes.
You have
Go.
a body,
Okay.
Alexis. You have a body here.
Okay, that's all that matters.
It's in a trench coat.
You're a lot shorter than I remember.
Yeah.
Still taller than me.
Okay, so Rowan is a young high elf ranger who comes from Warden. She's new to adventuring, and with her she has brought along her animal companion named Sista, who takes several different forms, kind of depending, and 3 retainers.
That's right, your
of
retainers.
varying, jobs and personalities. She's normally well dressed and put together.
Double check.
She has long, dark hair that's styled up and out of the way, either braided, like tails or stuff, or kind of changes it as it goes on. She has tan skin, dark blue eyes, and kind of short for an elf. She's only about 5'5", kind of quick and dexterous. She normally wears a lot of royal blue in teal with like gold accents kind of usually weaved through. Currently, she normally wears like a dark blue button shirt with like intricate kind of like fleur-de-lis that just almost like velvety, and that teal like, embroidered on the collars and the sleeves. And then that's under like an intricate piece of leather armor that goes with the dark pants and dark with like a gray belt around it. And then she also has like bracers on both arms, so it's just kind of a jeweler a little bit, and then she has a glove on her right sword arm, but she either or. That's all I got.
Okay.
All right.
Now it's your turn.
Now
It's my
Laura's
turn.
North.
Northern is a drow half-elf. His father being drow, his mother being half-elf, a little bit more upper crust. So my father left when I was young, for reasons unknown to me, but my character never thought too much about it.
Was it buying cigarettes or was
Cigarettes and milk.
cigarettes from milk?
Like my father, I was once part of the city guard, and through events unknown to me, I became the target of an attack, was stabbed in the back, and left to die, and did not die. So my patron, being the Twilight Phoenix, I now have certain abilities, and still trying to work them out, but I've since left the guard and gone to do mercenary work, currently on retainer by Lady Elwyn at the House of Corlon, the School of Enchantment on the Menagerie Coast, and that's where I ran into Ariana. So we've been traveling together for a couple years now,
You're my babysitter.
doing odd jobs. And that is, of course, how I ran into this bunch here,
The Wilde Bunch.
the Wilde Bunch. Off to you.
I am Ristos, variant human, sorcerer, and rather than have a long list of explanations, I got a good picture, and I can show all of you, and then I can. Mine is the sword.
Nice.
I'm bald.
I like that. That's
good.
cool,
That's
yo.
pretty good.
Yeah, I can.
What program did you use?
Just a picture. Can you see it? Yeah.
Yep.
What program
look
did
like
you
that.
use?
No, this is a.
Just a pre-done picture.
Yeah, a picture I pulled up on the
Cool.
internet.
Mm.
That's what I look like. I met these fellow adventurers in a maze. I was lost, looking for treasure, and luckily I happened upon them. And I saved them all, obviously, from certain doom. They obviously needed me, so.
To be fair.
And they seemed to be up to interesting things, and I believed it would be exciting, so I stuck with them, and they have accepted me, my greatness,
As one of their.
and that is me, Ristos.
Okay. I guess it's my turn.
Risotto?
What?
What's his nickname?
Oh. So, my character's name is Jacqueline. She is a oh my gosh.
A house elf?
She's a house elf.
Oh no!
I love you so much!
Shaped like a house.
Everyone give her socks.
I'm free.
I don't even have a
Um,
real shirt myself. It's just flat.
So she's a half elf rogue pirate. She has long reddish brown dreads. She has pale skin,
You're in it.
which not good for a pirate, but she gets by. She has very like glowing, bright blue, ethereal looking eyes. She's young. She's about 23, and she's all of 5'6", which is quite a few inches taller than I am in real life. She generally wears like a white blouse with a dark brown leather sort of vest or waistcoat over it, and she has like dirty red pants on. They're it looks like a worn tattered. Guys, I cannot speak English today. Oh my lord.
Deep breath.
Tattered.
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 Not
Yeah, I'm struggling with that word too. Worn tattered clothing. It looks like she pretty much has worn them pretty much her whole life. She hasn't, but it looks like she has. With some dark brown pirate boots because I like the way they look. She has a rapier that sits on her hip and a short sword that sits sort of, she keeps kind of like behind her. You can't see them, but she also has daggers in her boots because why not? Yeah, she talks funny. She talks with a weird accent, and the way that she says certain things can sometimes confuse people. And there's not a whole lot known about her except for the fact that she seems to be attracted to both men and women, which we found out in the last episode of the
She
Wilde
just finds
Bunch.
out herself.
No, she's known about this. This is
This is what
This
we
is-
just found out.
yeah, this is what
We
y'all
just
just found
revealed
out.
it to the public.
Yeah, this has been common knowledge to her. Okay, when you're a pirate, you're not that picky. Okay,
Oh.
straight up.
You're not picky about your.
I mean,
Yeah.
Your booty.
So yeah.
don't you worry about
Are we ready to go back to the DM?
it. Sure. You wrote the recap for me.
I did.
You are so wonderful.
Yeah, that's something right after we finished the last session, we went into the office and Mariah went, okay, and I went, nope, shut up, and I typed up the recap while it was still fresh in my head.
Okay.
Nope, shut up.
Just shut up for 2 minutes and we're good.
All right.
We don't have a Danny Carr to do this for us. I have to do it myself while it's fresh.
All
Oh,
right.
hang on. Let me go turn down the stream in the office.
It's just like grapes.
I just heard your laugh, and I don't think it'll get picked up on the microphone.
But we don't want a loop going. No,
Yeah.
we sure don't.
Great.
Drops.
All right. This is on me. Am I good? I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, it's on you.
All right. I don't know. I'm.
Hey, John, can you grab me another root beer? In the cooler.
Oh yes.
I am so sorry, and thank you. I love your face.
We are definitely still adjusting to being back. I've missed everyone. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week, guys. I was sick and it was miserable, and I'm still kind of getting over the dregs of it. So some of my voices might be very, very weird. I have like that remnants of the cold, you know.
We have tissues.
Oh, sweet.
Because Brett and I are congested and allergic to everything in the air right now.
Yes,
Welcome to New
sneezes
Mexico.
and everything
Oh, no, I'm
else
gonna
have
listen to
been a
those
thing.
kids.
Oh, shoot. Bottles of
Brown root beer bottle.
Oh,
Looks like beer bottle.
So to do the recap, let's see here. The Wilde Bunch began their trek to the ruins in Lushgut Forest.
Yeah, nobody.
They made the rather uneventful trek to the halfway mark, but along the way, Wynn needed to confirm the identity of the person he's been hired to keep an eye on. So he challenged Bo to a brawl. Bo managed to get the first hit in with a well-placed spell, but Wynn picked him up and threw him to the ground. It was quite an amazing little short snippet of what he can do for sure. And it ended their brawl almost immediately. Once Wynn asked Bo the question he won the right to ask, he confirmed that Bo was in fact who he was looking for. Wynn told Bo to write home and his mother was worried for him, which he in the morning did do.
I did.
Heartless monster.
Arriving at the way station, the bunch found themselves having a few or a lot of drinks. Some finding very enjoyable company for the night, others just finding a comfortable bed, even if they may have wanted company. Ristos,
Just for
he
the
wrote
record.
this. Remember, he wrote this. Ristos
I
gathered
still have
information
your
from
pants.
She does.
Oh, man.
Ristos gathered information from the man
Don't let
that
Ariana get
the Wilde Bunch hired their mounts from, Mr. Moore, and learned that ghouls are in the wastelands that they just passed through. The next morning, you all prepared to head back out for the second half of your journey, picking up your moorbounders from Mr. Moore and preparing to head into the jungle to find this lost ruins that you only know vaguely where it is. So, I'm excited to pick you all up. And you have more bounders.
There are more bounders.
Each of you has your own moorbounder.
Wait, we're still at the Moorbounder place?
Right.
You guys had just gotten your more bounders and were preparing to
Load up and
Okay.
head out, I believe was the plan.
I'm going to ask him, Mr. Morrow.
Mr. Moore?
Mr. Moore. Yes, I'm going to ask
Don't
him.
tell me that. That's
He
the name
doesn't
of one of my
speak.
doctors.
He can't speak, remember.
I know Mr. Moore.
Yeah, but
Dr. Moore.
someone here can
Well,
speak.
yeah.
No, he can hear you,
Remember.
but
Like, he can hear you.
He
and
can hear you, he just cannot
he
speak.
just-
he can speak to me if I link my mind
Yeah.
to him.
Didn't you do that last time?
Also
Yes,
just
you did.
Write it down.
Yeah, if he wants to.
Wait, who does
But he
speak?
had
Mr.
really
Moore.
illegible
But that's so
handwriting.
that's so inefficient.
His
though.
face is covered and he does not speak.
That's someone at the bar?
No.
No, that's
this is-
Mr. Moore, the
Mr.
Moore
Moore.
Bounder man. He's the one who
Yeah.
had all the Moore Bounders that you guys are renting in order to ride into
Yeah.
the jungle to make your trek a little bit
We
easier.
were about to
yes,
leave,
yes,
right?
Yes, you
Yes.
guys,
Yeah.
I believe, were just leaving and had decided you would get on your way, so I think you had gathered your belongings and were prepping to leave.
What were the monsters again?
More
You said?
ghouls.
No,
Bounders.
the monsters that
Oh,
were
ghouls.
Behind you,
Ghouls?
in the
that were rumored to be in the forest.
No, they are not in the forest. The ghouls that you guys
They were in the
saw, they
wasteland
were in the
you
wasteland
crossed.
you came through.
Oh.
They were the things that, remember when they said don't go
Things
through
in the
there at
night.
night. You guys had heard things in the distance
ghouls.
and never really saw them, but then when you spoke to Mr. Moore, he informed you that there
Yeah.
were ghouls that he was
We
hunting.
lucked out on some rolls.
Yeah, you basically lucked out, yeah. Exactly what happened.
Alright.
Hand you a bowl.
So, are you gonna be going, did you all just pack up your stuff and go to the Moore Bounders and then you're gonna leave? Or did you guys get the Moore Bounders and now you're gonna go get your stuff and then you're gonna leave?
I would assume gather our things and go to the more
More
bounders.
bounders, load up,
because-
Okay, so you guys have your Moore Bounders and you guys are getting ready to head into the
You were not kidding about your
jungle.
snacks.
You have about another 5 days, I believe is what it was, because you guys 5 days
Yes.
there and then 5 more days roughly. You've been told the generic location on the map, but it is just that, a generic location. So you know it'll roughly take you another 4 or 5 days to find it. If you are lucky enough to actually
Find
find
our way
the
and not be attacked.
way. Yes.
If someone could please, I drank too much last night. What are we looking for again?
We're looking for
ruins.
the tower for one.
Archaeological.
Oh yeah, the archaeological. Thanks, girl. Thanks. Can anyone cast Motrin or something?
Lesser restoration.
Lesser restoration. And not speak too loud.
Before you guys left, Moira, carefully pulled aside Jackie and handed her a flask about so big. But she handed it to her, and like real close, like shoulder to shoulder as you're walking past, she leans in and hands it to you and goes, "For the headache I know you and others will have." And she winks at you as she walks away.
I'm gonna hand her women's pants and be like,
Souvenir.
Hey,
No.
for-
That's part of the
don't die.
Danelle, don't die. You're not
Sure.
allowed.
I'm gonna hand you women's pants and say, stash this one well.
She's gonna go, "Ooh, this will be fun." And she's gonna just kind of like almost, because she was not facing the crowd before you all had, you know, as you guys were leaving, she tucks it up under the front of her skirt
What?
and puts down her skirt and turns around and goes, "Well, y'all have safe travels now. If you have a headache, your dear girl has a few sips that might help." And she's gonna walk off. Those of you, though, that were probably very distracted and not wanting to exist at the moment, there were, after all, really just a couple of you there when the rest of you had already started traipsing out the door. So, you know that she has this drink. You probably also know. But everybody else who was eager to leave, which you were,
Yeah, I'm not paying
Behind
attention. I'm
everybody.
just trying to keep going in a
So,
straight line going,
that is something that she actually would have given you
Okay.
beforehand. Now, what are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna take a swig of it first of all.
So,
Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full.
no, you're good. So, what meets your lips is something along the lines of a thicker substance, almost milky, like a milky whiskey. It dulls some of the burn, but it doesn't seem like it's as potent on the alcohol side as much as there's just a little in there to help alleviate some of that morning blech
Morning
that
sickness.
you all feel from
it's
it.
not, no.
There is also
Different
something
kind
in
of
it
sickness.
that seems to almost immediately ease your stomach and put almost like a minty quality in the back of your neck and up into the base of your skull that almost immediately makes you feel like someone has been rubbing peppermint on your shoulders. A nice cooling effect
It's
that
liquid
ripples down your
Vicks with
side.
whiskey.
Makes your mouth.
I mean,
It's not exactly the best tasting, but it is not terrible. It has that medicinal kind of quality, so you don't want to just chug it. It's not that kind of thing. You can go, oh yeah, hey, that's helpful. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a renewed boost for your morning without giving you the kick the alcohol would give you.
Sweet.
So now she has a hangover. Flashing back to the forward time.
Okay.
Flashing back to the what?
Yeah, that was a sentence.
That was a
I understood
sentence.
exactly
We
what she
understood
meant.
it, but that was a sentence.
It was a sentence. I am strange and I am proud.
So
Damn
I'm
sticky
gonna.
beats.
As soon as she said that she has a hangover, I'm
Say
gonna
what
hand
now?
her that.
You're gonna find me. I'm gonna be just face first into the side of my more bounder, just.
I'm gonna walk up to her. Ilas, take a bit of this down for you, will you?
Stinks. And she just immediately.
You feel as it hits the back of your throat, there's this immediate cooling sensation as it slides into your stomach and soothes that rumbly kind of morning bluff that comes, and your head starts to feel relaxed as you go, oh.
Yeah. She's be like, oh god, that's so good, thank you. Okay. And she's gonna hand it back to you. She's gonna put the cap back on and hand it back to you.
Now, as I'm riding near her,
Wait,
Out
we're
of-
writing? I thought we hadn't even been on our
Oh,
own
no,
boundaries
we're-
yet.
No, we're getting started.
You're about to get out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get going.
She's on the ground with her face. She was on the ground with her face in the
Okay.
side. Just,
okay, well,
she feels
Like
better.
you guys, that happened before you got your more bounders. Now you have your more
perfect,
bounders,
perfect.
Oh, I
and you
was
guys
standing
are
near him.
well. Yes, now you are. This is the current moment. You guys have gotten your more bounders. You're getting ready to mount your war bounders and leave.
Okay, anywho.
all right. So I would have seen all this.
Yeah.
I'd like to cast detect magic, see if there's anything.
Magical about the
Yeah,
drink?
I'm sure there isn't. But just because.
He just wants to cast detect magic.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
It is an all natural.
That
We make
sounds
him
like
a
North.
new shirt that just says detect magic.
It is an all natural concoction that
Don't
she
cast
has
detect
made
magic.
to combat
I'm working on it.
Perfect.
hangovers because that's her job.
I'm just always in the search for better ways to do things. So it's magical. Yes.
All right, so
Someone need to roll for the day's travel.
someone needs to roll survival.
Can do that.
Who is leading? Basically, we need to know
we're
who's
probably gonna
leading.
have-
Alright, I'm not going to. You two can.
No.
Oh, wait, no, you can't anymore.
He's
Shit.
not Reeve anymore.
I forget he's not Reeve anymore.
I can do that.
I have an
I-
okay
I-
survival, but
I
Point
have
me
a
to
plus
tree and I'll
6.
punch it. It's about as good as I am.
4.
Survival.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
I have plus 4.
I can do
I
it.
have +4.
I mean, you could assist me.
Yes.
I mean, I could.
What do you have?
I could be up next to you and be like, oh, I feel better.
I could technically be riding on her back.
for survival.
No, I've got
She's
moved
got-
out.
She already got her a more founder.
Yeah, you can help someone do a.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
you
I
can
can
assist
help you.
me,
I
Even though you're not very good
Roll
yourself.
So you
I
get
shall
you can
advantage.
roll with advantage.
Just +3.
Right, sure, why
Should
not?
I?
Roll
No,
advantage.
because she's still kind of
I'll help.
hangovery. It wouldn't be good.
What about
Yeah,
Roman?
no, I'm not drunk.
Yeah, Roman, you're
What's
good
your
with
survival?
I am not proficient in survival. It is 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
if you
didn't think it-
assist her, if you assist her,
I mean,
it would give her advantage. I
Even
mean,
someone with non-proficiency
I
can assist me.
could, but
I
my
have-
character's
I'll-
technically still
You keep
hungover,
an
so
eye
it would
out.
not be a good
I'll give you
idea.
advantage. I'll help
Okay.
you out.
Okay, never mind, I figured it out.
20.
Oh, thank God.
Rolls an 11.
We survived.
Not a 1.
We survived.
Yes.
So
Trips.
20 survival.
Dead.
The computer being dumb.
Did you
Yes. Sadly, yes.
die?
But I lived!
Sounds like Sarah's character from the other day.
That's a
You're
quote
not
from
entirely wrong.
one of the
I
Ice
am
Age
not
movies.
wrong one bit.
Rude.
Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
He lived a good life.
And then you died.
Okay. On a brighter note, because you guys do have the more bounders, you're looking at lessening the amount of time that it should theoretically take you from like 5 days down to more like 3.5.
I am now the slowest one in the party.
What is your speed?
40.
Yes, you are. So we would actually be slowed down to that then, because unless you are
Well,
like
what are we going through? The forest?
you are going through a jungle.
Then.
Yeah. So actually, they would probably be slowing down for you then. So it'll take you more like 4-ish days instead of the full 5. They have a speed of 70 feet, so they fast.
Woo!
Yeah, they fast.
They fast. They fast as fuck. This is extreme.
And
I wish I could move 70 feet at a time.
yeah,
I
they're
only got
fast, and
30.
it's
would
that's
be
kind of
some
why I
long
got them
legs.
was to kind of
Yeah.
speed you guys along a little bit. You probably are, because I think most of the average is like 30 feet. And if you're 40, you're definitely faster. But now you're like, wait!
Get levels of monk to get their fast movement.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could. That'd be cool.
I mean,
Um,
I do have,
all
what
right.
is it, a potion?
Oh yeah, you got a potion
I
of
have that potion of Expedious Retreat, I think it was.
Save that.
Yeah,
Why
I
no,
can
I
do
was
that.
just kidding.
Okay. So, you said it was 20 survival?
Yes,
20?
20.
Alright, so the first leg of your journey, who is leading? You?
And I was giving her
What's our
Makes
initiative, or
sense.
what's our order?
Yeah.
Who's in the front?
Currently,
Obviously
it's
the
Jiraiya,
horse.
I'm in defense.
Jiraiya and Marwin.
I'm
are
setting
in
the
front.
pace.
I'm a
Okay.
There you
rogue,
go.
so I'll probably sit in the back just in case someone tries to.
I'm a squishy
Rogues do it
caster,
from
so I
behind.
should be
I'll be in mid.
middle.
I'm
Yeah, I was
squishy
about to
too.
say we should put Bo and the kid next to each other.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a squishy caster. I'll be in the middle.
Next
Kids
to the
don't
other
get
squishy.
Hangover.
And you
Use
two-
the 3.
All
You two
three
take
of
up
us
the
are
rear.
squishy.
Yeah.
alright, so
Squishy
as
squad.
you
I'll be
Represent.
towards the back
Rowan towards the back.
Okay.
with the companion stuff. I'll hear things.
Yeah.
Alright.
Did we leave the companion?
What's
Did
your
she leave her
companions,
companions in the halfway? Where they
are
gonna
you
stay?
are you leaving your other companions at the halfway point to wait for you?
I would assume so,
Okay.
but we're bringing the animal.
The
Yeah,
animal's
yeah.
coming, but her
Which one is it
servants are
today?
staying behind.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
which animal is it today?
I don't know.
well, you need to figure that one out.
I'll be a bird. Just because we're walking, it'll probably be faster.
It'll probably be
Bird.
bird.
So,
Okay.
bird it is today.
Okay, so as you guys travel along, the first leg is pretty uneventful. Like, you guys didn't really leave until probably around like 9 in the morning or so. You guys got out and got going. So, between like basically as you guys were heading out for lunch, it's a really nice day. It's a little humid, but comfortable in the temperature, and you guys are able to find kind of a pathway of sorts that it's pretty visible that people travel through this particular section. A fairly common pathway in the direction that you guys are. looking to head. So as you guys follow along this pathway, everything is pretty easygoing. The branches are not super hard to get through. It's not super dense, just because there has been a little more traffic through this area than much of this jungle. As you guys reach, so, around lunchtime, you guys do start to hear the sound of running water in the distance, more like a steady stream but not a large river, just a creek,
So like
a loud.
brook?
No bigger.
Bigger?
Something in between more like a creek. It is a creek. It's shallow enough you could wade across it. In places, there are little rapids in places through it, as it seems to just go underneath the floor of the jungle and migrate on its way. But right around lunchtime, you do come to this small area nearby that is relatively open, a nice place to stop for lunch.
Let's grab a break. Give little girl a chance to rest her legs, and a couple people keep watch while everyone else grab some food.
Sounds good.
I'm so hungry now that I feel better.
All right, you guys just want to eat your lunch and get on your way?
I'd like to check Ariana. Make sure
Why?
she's not exhibiting signs of dehydration.
All right.
Okay.
Are you dying?
Gonna make
But
cast
don't
detect magic on
s-
her.
I would say that's a survival,
Okay.
because to know if someone
She
is
just walks up to the creek and
or
pulls
medicine.
Actually, medicine.
Is that an actual medicine?
Medicine.
That makes
Medicine.
sense for either one, though. To
Okay.
me.
I've got the same bonus
Are we eating
either
like
way. so-
rations or are we trying to hunt for food?
Well, you
we
guys
want
do
rations
have
for
some
now.
rations.
Well,
You
I
have
mean,
rations.
We still have like
Rations.
snake and wolf, don't we?
Yeah, you
Stick
do
to
still
what
have
we've
some.
got.
No,
You have
please.
jerky.
Collect the snake.
You also have rations. Plus, you have
We just
rations
killed it.
in your tent.
Oh, fishes.
And I skinned it.
So for nighttime, you do have meals already, if I recall correctly.
And when in doubt, I have good berry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
One ranger.
so go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, well.
7.
Yeah, she seems fine.
She looks okay.
Oh, bubbly! I feel a lot better. Thanks.
She's breathing. She says as she passes out.
Breathe on.
You see nothing wrong with her.
She looks
But
fine,
then
guys.
here's the kicker. You say you look over at her and you go, she seems fine, and you sit there for a second and then you go, but what if she's not? What if she's not okay? I don't think she's okay. I don't know if you're okay. You need to drink this water, and you like promptly get this urge to make her drink this bottle of water. You
I'm
like you go
already
over and
drinking
fill
out of my own flask skin, like.
You go over
And
and
munching,
like,
like-
fill up some water and go, you need to drink this. This has to be gone before we leave.
Oh god.
Kind of like you just know this
I'm
has to be
good, I'm
drank
drinking
before
water.
you leave.
And crackers.
Someone needs to do a survival check
Per
on that
hour.
because when you're dehydrated and you chug water, you will actually vomit.
Diamond.
That's what
Can
people
confirm. Have done before.
I know. Yeah, you don't want to chug water. Also, it's not as hydrating if you drink it all at once. You're more likely just to pee it right out.
I was cheap. I would just go to the ER and get IV bags.
Were we just stopping for a rest to
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
we're
to
sorry.
eat.
It's
camping
just
out.
basically it's lunchtime. You're stopping to eat
Just
and
a short rest essentially. while
and
we're
then you're
grabbing
gonna
lunch.
keep going. So,
Sorry.
who's leading? I need you to roll another.
Me. Again.
Oh,
Assisting
on dog,
me.
yeah.
Uh-oh. This is the last one. Get this out.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Bring up my.
Oh man. So again, you guys are able, as you continue on, the path is still pretty visible. You guys have had a relatively easy road, so you're kind of like, wow, I guess this has been more traveled lately than in the past. So you're not. You're beginning to wonder if this place is still untouched. You know that she had told you that nobody had found it before, and as far as she knew, it was untouched. But because of the amount of traffic it seems to have been through here, you're beginning to wonder if this is going to lead you right to it or not.
Well-traveled path to abandoned ruins.
It's almost more worrisome.
Are we following a map or just a general direction that they pointed
You
to?
know, based on the map that you were shown, the general area of where she found it. So basically, it's just an area on the map. She goes, it's somewhere in this area here.
Okay.
So you know you're going that direction. You know you are heading towards that spot on the map. Once you get there, you may have to do some
search around.
around that vicinity. It may take you a couple of days. It might take you no time at all. You're not entirely sure because she happened across it in her travels. And she wasn't able to stop and properly map everything out because she was on her way back from a different dig. And so that's why she assumes it's never been found, because she's never heard anything about it. There's never been whispers of it among her peers, and so she's hoping that this will be a new discovery that she will be able to use for her benefit, since she found it so long ago. So she's hired you to go and find it out. But
we found a well-traveled path to it.
You found when you first entered the jungle, there seemed to be a pathway from people, because people do go in and out of the jungle. There is a semblance of a road or path. It's just more chaotic and usually branches off at random places. So you've seen branches where it's headed off like towards more of the coast. You guys are kind of heading up more towards the northwest. You're not going downward, but you'll see trails that seem to go off as you walk through. Sometimes the trail seems a little rough, but it still seems well enough traveled that you're beginning to be concerned that this direction is not changing, that it seems to continue in the direction you are going. So you are not sure if this place is still undiscovered, which means you might you would put together that means you may have company. There may be other raiders. There may be, because it's so well traveled. Now you don't know if you will be taking an off branch or if you will have to go off this trail to find it. But it is beginning to be a little concerning that this trail seems to go on for the full day in the direction that you guys want to go, in a fairly uncharted jungle.
Does anyone
Supposedly
have a familiar
uncharted.
that can scout?
Well, it is. You guys have reached the evening.
Yeah, set up camp and then send
You
out
guys-
the scout.
It's a dense jungle. You can kind of make you can set up your camp directly in the middle of the pathway that is here. It is not a flat area. Tents are not exactly well suited for this. So luckily, because you have had a fairly followable path, there is a space, since it doesn't take up an exorbitant amount of it, for you to set up tent for the night.
Marwin's gonna pull up the tent and pull the tab on it, throw the box.
It's gonna as it settles down.
Oh yeah, that was you had a magic tent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Gonna tie the moorbounders off to one of the posts on the side of the tent.
Yeah, you can tie them up around on the trees.
Do we have food for them?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Along with the moorbounders, he gave you the
Meat.
Tack and feed
What
and
do
stuff.
they
Type.
eat?
Meat.
Well, they actually have a rather fun diet, I would assume.
Sorry, random
No.
question just out of curiosity, because if you gave us food for them, how are we storing it?
Well, you do thankfully have bag that holds an awful lot of stuff.
That's
No, I know,
rather
but
handy. Keeping it preserved.
does it need to be preserved?
No.
Does it need to be cool? Like,
It's basically like a combination of, it's like a grain he gave you, except it seems to be made with like dried bugs.
It's food loaf.
Like no, it's like a meal
Food
made
loaf.
out of grasshopper. A meal made out of grasshopper and other high protein insect type things. But there is also
am I
jerky.
getting the proper reference here?
Okay, have you seen Suicide Squad?
Yes.
In the very beginning of Suicide Squad, when they bring Will Smith his food, and he goes, "What the hell is this?" and they said it's food loaf. It's got some spaghetti in there. It's got all kinds of.
Like
It's
meatloaf?
basically they take
Food in a loaf?
the leftover food for the day, put it in a blender, put it in a meat grinder, and then freeze it. And then that's what they give the inmates in solitary.
I was actually thinking more along the lines of
Soylent
that
Green.
movie about the train, where they grind up bugs and turn it into
Yeah.
like food, and they give it to
Haven't
the
actually seen Snowpiercer, and I think that's
Yeah.
what you're talking
Brown jelly breads.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, there seems to be big,
Delicious.
thick chunks of dried jerky, as well as this meal, this bug ground meal, that
The food they give you in basic.
that it's much like the grain you would give a horse, except they are more of a protein-based creature. So they eat the meat. They will hunt. They typically would hunt, but being domesticated, they have found that making this bug meal and using dried jerky and such, like a jerky meat, really was a beneficial substitute to hunting, because it gave them all the nutrients and protein that they still needed without them having to actively hunt.
They'll
So
probably throw some egg in there. And
yeah,
whatnot.
basically it's a
protein
meal. Yeah, it's just but
Okay.
it's just you scoop it out to each of them and they eat a certain amount.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to like
No.
freeze it or anything,
nope, they're
or
good.
go hunting for them, or
They are
what the deal
good.
was.
So, what are you doing now?
Detect magic.
Oh,
You're in a jungle.
Stop.
I'm in the jungle.
Well, we were thinking of making camp, setting up watches and stuff, and sending out Rowan's bird to look ahead for what we should expect for the next day.
Okay. Are you sending your bird up, out through the top of the canopy, or are you staying under the canopy?
Is it pretty dense
Yes.
canopy? Okay, probably below it.
Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see much beyond trees except for the occasional clearing, or although that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing because you are looking for what she described as a invisible mountain.
Okay.
Basically, it was something that was raised out of the ground, and she happened to literally run into it because you're in a forest and in a jungle. You've got
Would it be something that
branches.
you could see above the canopy, or would you have to be below the canopy?
It really would be hard to know. You could guess that you might be able to, because if it's a big enough building, the trees wouldn't have completely been able to cover it.
Mhm.
So you would theoretically be able to see it from above better than you would be able to find it from below.
So she could do both.
She
She
could
could send
what?
it out, and it could look.
But
below
that's
the
assuming
canopy.
you go in the right direction. You're still gonna have to kind
Yeah.
of roll for that.
We're still a few days out. I think it would be more beneficial
To
to
do-
under the trees what's
Yeah.
ahead of us for
Yeah.
See if there's
flying for
anybody
a couple of hours
or anybody
Yeah,
in front of you.
and then the thing can turn around and fly back, and then we'll be more aware of what's coming for the next couple of days. Then in a couple of days we can do the fly around over the trees to see if we're in the right area even.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
if we're not even in the X marks the spot area, there's no point in going, hey, are we
Yeah.
close? Like, no, we're still 3 fucking days away.
I'm gonna build
Yeah,
some.
that's more what I'm
I'm gonna build some fortifications around the tent with mold earth
Good idea.
to at least give us some cover if we're attacked with ranged stuff.
So cool. I love it. The sea races.
for my rolling.
Mounds of dirt.
Just need to make a perception for the bird.
Yes. I need you
Yeah.
to make a perception, please.
16.
Everything looks pretty jungly.
Jungle.
There's really not anything out of ordinary. The road seems pretty clear. However, it looks like the road might actually start to kind of disappear, but you're not entirely sure. So.
She's moving furniture out there.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I was about to get up and check. You want me to?
She's probably fine, but go check, because she's our daughter, and you never know.
Baby is moving furniture.
Is moving furniture. I need something to eat.
What do you want
I
to eat?
just realized I haven't had anything to eat.
There's
We got
Funyuns
sugary
over
things,
there.
we got
Oh.
savory things. I brought a shit ton of sweet potato snacks, which are light and delicious.
There's a lemon bread up on top of the black boxes over here. If somebody wouldn't mind
Don't hit
grabbing it.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just realized I haven't eaten yet, guys, other than some bacon earlier, and I'm a little hungry.
Lemon?
Thank you. Okay.
On the table, please.
For Googles.
So yes.
Oh, what am I doing?
Hello, little baby. Hi.
So where'd she move?
The chair blocking her in. If
Give
you'd given
them
her
enough
another
time
couple of
alone,
minutes,
they'll
she would have
figure it
walked all
out.
the way in here, I bet.
Sounds about right.
You cannot
No,
trap me.
she's like,
No, she's figured it out, and it's not helpful. Anyway, so, yeah, you don't really find a whole lot. Everything seems safe, and, I mean, as safe as a jungle can be.
Take first watch.
yeah, are we doing the same teams for watching?
What were the teams? I don't remember.
I know I was on
North
last
and
watch when the
me.
sun came up.
Yeah.
She was on last watch with, shoot,
Rowan.
with, Rowan's, pet.
Well, that was before he joined. He could
Oh, that's
take
right.
last watch with
Yeah,
me
yeah.
since
That's
both
right,
of us can't see in the
Yeah,
dark.
so you two take last watch without dark vision.
And, who is taking first?
I'll take first watch.
Probably me, as always. I'll take first watch too.
I was about to say probably a bad idea for me to do it.
So it'd be you and
Oh,
No one's gonna watch
would it
anything
be?
with y'all on watch.
Would it be, though? Would it be bad? Would it?
For watching, yes. No watching would be done.
That's not necessarily true. I might just beat him to death.
So first watch is
You'd
those
start by
two.
beating him to death and turn into a Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Does that include the hot, passionate grinding?
Who says it doesn't?
Exactly.
I'll just turn on the mood music.
So yes, I'm taking shift with you two.
Rowan.
Rowan? Okay. Oh yeah, I forget there's a even number of us now.
Yep.
Ooh, now Rowan's a cute girl too.
Hot diggity, yes.
Excuse me.
Alexa.
No.
No! She's like, I'm good, leave
She's
me
like,
alone.
I am not in
Obviously.
this for romance.
We need to roll for first watch, right?
Yep.
Alright. What are we rolling for watch? Just a d20 or percentile?
Sorry, it's hard for me to swallow. The bread is very dry. I'll actually do it real quick.
Okay.
Whoa. Same exact time we set our dice
Now
down.
the question is, what did you roll?
I didn't even roll it, I just set it down.
Yeah, but what's it sitting down on?
Oh, well, I was holding it on one, so
Oh.
I set it down.
I dropped it like thump on 16.
Oh, yeah, I just set it down on one. So I was holding it in one.
Well,
and
if y'all are on watch together, you would roll 2.
So
So you need
while
to
you
roll.
guys,
No,
I
She's
thought.
rolling.
Just a
Oh,
number.
she's rolling.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
while you guys were
Got it.
after you set up the tent and you guys are out feeding
I thought
the
they would have to roll like perception or something.
No, I'm just doing what I've been doing. You guys have a slight. You begin to hear like a. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it for you. It'll make it that much easier.
Oh, man. That's my notebook. That's my notebook. That is my notebook. That is still my notebook.
That.
Dat.
That is and always will be a notebook.
I mean, once you burn it, then it would be ashes. It wouldn't be a notebook. It would be
I
on
know.
fire.
No, it would be. It'd just be a notebook on fire.
Well, once it's already ashes, if it burns all the way, then it would be ashes.
Once a notebook.
You guys hear in the distance the sound of thunder from
Thunder.
above
Thunder.
the canopy. It begins distant, but soon it's almost like the rain comes from either side of you, and it sounds like it just kind of
Oh joy.
over the top. But the canopy of the trees, being as thick as they are, seems to act as almost a tent, and most of the rain does not get through. It seems you can look and you get dripped on, like it's dripping through. You hear the sound of the dripping and you can hear the downpour above you. It's a loud rushing sound, but underneath it is just the drips. And you begin to see as the rain kind of trails down the trees and begins to kind of make puddles at the bases of them, but the rain itself just seems to catch on the leaves above.
As soon as he hears the thunder, Marwin gets a big smile on his face.
Second watch?
Is it still
Second watch.
storming when second watch starts?
It is raining, but not quite as heavily as it was before. The thunder is distant, though occasional.
So a second watch, me and Rowan,
Or us two.
Whichever.
It's up to you guys.
Do you want to take second watch or third?
I'll do third.
Okay.
So he and I will take second watch.
It goes smoothly. It's just a drizzle, steady rain.
Once Marwin wakes the two of them up for watch, he is going to take off his coat, leave it in the tent, and bare-chested climb a tree to sit in the rain.
Dang it.
Okay, make an acrobatics or an athletics.
I need to commune.
15 athletics.
So do I.
25. No, our hang on. We're second level, or way lower level. Our proficiency bonus is not 6.
I wish.
15,
It's 2.
21 athletic.
Oh yeah, you climb it pretty easily. The big roots kind of come up and arches, and the branches are a little twisted and skewed, but there's plenty of greenery to grab a hold of and just kind of wrap around your hands as you just scale the tree.
And just get to the point where the rain's falling on him, and he's just gonna sit there for a couple hours.
Okay. Are you not gonna sleep?
I have enough. I only need the 4 hours.
Fair enough. Okay.
I wish I could get away with 4 hours of sleep.
Huh?
I wish I could get away with 4 hours of sleep. No, I need 14.
Second watch went by without a hitch.
Okay.
It just drizzled the entire time.
I'm
Nothing.
gonna try and find some place to commune.
Gonna commune during your watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not watch at all, basically.
So you're
Leave
leaving
north to do it.
It's the usual.
It's the usual.
I mean,
It's
Alright.
the only place I can find some place within eyesight of him
And quiet.
and quiet and without out of eyesight of everyone else to talk to her family.
Okay.
So she's gonna do that for a little while and then pack up
And continue
and
to
then
watch.
continue to watch. Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
take long.
Nothing
And where's hell
much
Reba?
to report.
Let's figure out who she is. That's where Reba is.
So, are you gonna head to bed?
Figure out who is
Before third watch, or
Yeah, when third watch, when he starts getting kind of sleepy because it's getting to the point where he's going to need his 4 hours, he is going to attempt to climb down the tree in all his wet, rippling muscledness and just walk past Jacqueline as he goes to bed.
her face. Okay, so as you guys come out and take over the watch, Rowan and Jacqueline, you come out at just in time after you let North and Ariana pass.
Let's try that again.
Words are hard sometimes, y'all.
Indeed.
So, you hold the door open as they walk in to get out of the rain, and you realize it's definitely dripping, and it seems to be picking up again. And as you're closing the thing and turning back around to head out to do some rounds, you see Marwyn shimmying, just sliding down this vine as he comes down this tree, sliding down, shoulders just glistening in wet, his hair soaking to his head as he slides down and lands superhero pose in front of you and then strides past you to the tent.
Have a good night, love.
Part of me just thinks, no thanks, fam.
You weren't there, you didn't see it.
No, I know. But even if she did see it, she wouldn't even be interested. But that's just like my thought with this whole description. Just nah, fam. It's nice, but nah.
To be fair, it wasn't intentional. It just
No, it's
happened
just
that
funny.
way. As you and Rowan are pacing around, is there anything you want to do during the watch?
I'm probably just gonna complain about Win the whole time.
Go right ahead. Let's hear it. A little
you're gonna make me
snippet.
Actually,
I am. This is the character growth that we want.
yes.
You can have
She's
an
just
odd
gonna
relationship.
bitch to Rowan.
Yeah. So,
As he walks past you, you're gonna be like, you know. And
I
it's
got
gonna.
fucker.
Everyone at this party is so bold.
Huh?
Oh.
Everyone at this party is a little odd.
It's true.
She's bold.
That's what she's
Random.
thinking as your
Yes.
character's ranting about him. She's just like, everyone at this party's really weird. What the hell? How did I get myself into this?
As you complain and go, what right does he have coming down all wet and going in there thinking he's cool looking?
She wouldn't say it exactly like that. It would. Rowan probably wouldn't have much of an idea of what she was saying because it would. I actually have to figure out how I'm going to say this.
It's gonna be pirate talk.
It's going to be pirate talk, yeah.
Is it like that thing where they took
She's like a mental.
I understand what she's
trying to
saying.
figure out like
the Scottish girl from the Disney princesses
Brave?
Yeah.
in Brave?
I can understand that.
In
I
the,
could
well,
too.
so could I, but they took one where they just like wrote down like Scottish like phrases.
Are you
from
talking about that scene of
Twitter.
Wreck-It Ralph?
Yes, that was
Yeah,
so brilliant.
yeah, where her accent is so thick and everyone's like,
So
what?
good.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. So because she says stuff like weird. So,
We all do.
yeah. Well, I actually have to figure out how to say it 'cause I can't explain how she talks. I have to actually talk like her.
And do it.
Otherwise, it won't make no sense. Yeah, but I figure out how I'm going to start it.
Start it the way you feel that it should be started.
Probably with, I got fucker.
There you go.
Just be like, that's a wee bit odd.
Trotting around here, acting though he's high up on the mast. See, I can't. You put me on the spot, and I can't fucking do
It's
it.
okay. It's okay. We're all learning. It's all right. No judgment here.
But yeah, she basically starts talking like that and goes on this long rant about how he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips.
Complain about his rippling glistening muscles.
How dare his muscles be rippling and perfectly
Yeah.
formed.
How dare he?
How dare you flex those at me, thinking they do anything? But I'll just sit here and think about them and complain about them all night.
Exactly.
Seems like they worked.
And so, let me see.
I really need to practice talking like Jack.
That's all right.
You can
It's
complain mentally to me and
definitely-
I'll hear you.
It's definitely one of those like, oh, all these people.
The rain continues to get harder.
Oh joy.
The ground, you begin to notice, is starting to get super sludgy.
Ooh.
As the rain made pools beneath the trees as it puddled, you begin to my baby's crying.
She dropped the plastic bus on her toe.
She'll learn.
My mama instinct is not liking it. Anyway, you begin to notice the ground is starting to get really muddy. Like it's definitely becoming squishy. Squishy. But the watch goes uneventful.
Except for the squishy ground in my
And the seemingly more wet ground, yes.
Rowan must be miserable.
Last watch, right? Is that right? Is it last watch, or do we have two more?
No, that was we have last watch.
One more.
Oh,
One more?
watch.
Okay, well,
Zoria and Ristos.
yes. So, as you guys head to bed, Zoria and Ristos are awoken. Woken?
Yes, awoken. You said it. You said awoken.
And brought out to the muddy, wet jungle. Do you have anything you want to do during your watch?
I can cast light so I can see.
There you go.
Just in light.
And so I can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It only shows like a 20-foot area radius of bright, and then another 20-foot out from that is dim. But I can throw it in a tree above us to give us some light.
Okay. Well, you only need it for a little while because the sun is going to start slowly illuminating the gray, wet, dreary clouds. The rain continues. The mud is squishy and squishier. But it goes uneventful, and your morning comes, and all of you have had a full night's rest. So, who is leading the way, and what are you doing this morning? Are you just jumping on the road and starting your trek?
Probably
Some
eat breakfast.
Well, yeah. I assumed.
Food.
So everybody eats, feeds the critters, preps for the ride. It is still rainy and wet.
I'd like to inspect the area around our campsite, make sure that there wasn't anything that we missed in the night.
Okay, perception
Weird animal
or investigation.
tracks.
While he's doing that, I will climb up the tree again, and now in the daylight, see if I can get a decent perspective while I'm soaking in the rain.
So, as you climb up the tree, it's a bit slipperier than the first time when it had just started raining.
You want me to roll with disadvantage?
Yeah, I do. Just roll for disadvantage.
16 total.
You climb up and your hand slips and you're holding on to this vine and you're kind of climbing the tree like rock climbing style. And as your feet kind of slip a few times, but you manage to keep yourself up there and get up to the top. And as you come up out of the tree, all you see is just gray sky and the green canopy of the trees. From this vantage, you do see bits of orange and even some purple hidden in the branches of the trees. It's strangely colorful up above the
Maybe
canopy.
you should roll to see if he gets comedically in a cartoon style struck by lightning. It's just the skeleton outline of him going zip zap zip zap.
So she rolls to do it.
No, that was.
Oh
She
no!
rolled a 20.
Oh no!
Wow.
You're not what? Are you welcome? I'm sorry.
Oh my god, does he fall down and hit the
Okay,
ground?
so here we go.
Oh shit!
As you
I was
stand
joking.
up under the tree,
What's happening now?
But I just.
Tall.
Has to
You know,
do
tree
what?
height.
The thing is,
like it's like the canopy's like
there's a big difference between the tree in our backyard and the trees that were in her backyard growing up.
So
She had redwoods.
They are
Oh, so she's
Hoyas,
imagining.
and they are gigantic.
Yeah, see, we say tree height, and we're thinking like the one in my backyard right now.
No.
We say tree height to her, and she goes, all right, so 300 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
base
That's
of
exactly
one
what
was
my
like-
brain
We
is.
are in the
It's
jungle,
house.
so.
The redwood
Yeah.
is a jungle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We are in a jungle.
Fantasy. These are fantasy trees.
But no, this is a
Fancy
different
trees.
kind of jungle.
They're like a million miles.
Drive, they have, like,
I mean, it kind of is. It's more.
I want to go to the Hoya horse so bad.
That was almost a fell just now.
I have a thing that tells me. Just a second.
Fancy. Is it carpal tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, it's better to get that.
It's bigger.
Oh, okay. So roughly 200 feet.
Cool.
Is he falling?
Yep.
No.
Baby.
Thank God.
So anywho, hold on. Let me
I do not have slow fall.
Anybody else?
Feather fall, yeah. I do not have that spell.
We'll see. It depends if we.
I do not have any spells.
That might be the important.
I got loads of
I
them.
could
What you
try
need,
to
By the
fam?
way, while Mariah's looking this up, I saw a thing on Twitter, and it was a DM shared a story of the first time he was able to, as the DM, counterspell something that a player did.
Phoenix.
And he said he felt really good about it and really bad about it at the same time because the spell he countered was Revivify.
Oh.
You know when you counter a spell, it still burns the material component?
Yeah.
which means you can't.
It still burned the
revivify.
50 gold diamond to revive the person and didn't revive the person.
Oh.
That's.
So I had to go
Alright.
like,
Yup.
So
That's why you
I know
always
it.
make sure you have enough.
Jeebus.
That's why you always make sure you have someone in the party who can counter spell.
Yeah. Oh my god, they do that so much in the
Counterspell.
Monday night.
I counterspell that
counterspell your
counterspell that.
counterspell.
I would like to counter that. I will counter
I will
his
counter
counterspell.
that with another counterspell.
Well-
God.
Chain.
what level is
Magic
counterspell?
together.
I don't know if I'm.
3rd level, I think.
That's like when Sam Regal.
I don't think we have
Counter
3rd level
I don't know
spells
what
yet.
you put on TV for her, but it's
We
just
don't.
his mom who's holding a baby, and
Don't
then
have
I just watched
Cocomelon.
her. I just watched her go. Like I was like, what?
Oh no, yeah, it's very realistic and it's terribly funny.
When are y'all gonna make me watch Bubble Guppies? Because that shit's awesome. And if you don't think Bubble Guppies is awesome, fight me.
Alright, so struck by lightning and then.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Give me a second.
Fuck are those?
Chips. What else the fuck do you
Okay.
think they are?
They're
I'm
Oh,
just
those are those new
teasing
ones.
him.
the new ones out at the back.
He knows I'm
So-
teasing him.
I think those are absolute. I don't know.
We didn't try that flavor anyway.
Maybe.
We tried the
Can I
carrot.
get please?
He knows I'm teasing him. We talk on Facebook. Don't worry, dude.
Okay, that's not terrible. All right, so as you climb up and look out over the canopy,
I don't like
Kettle ones.
you are
Kettle ones.
kind of enraptured by the beauty, by what you see. It's
Popcorn and a chip.
the clouds are almost
What is-
purple and they're gray, and you see in the
I got 2 different.
canopy the unique shades of green and the unique colors of purple and orange that just kind of pop up in various areas
I like
of this canopy. And in the moment that you stand up there, you get so distracted that you fully stand. Rather than sitting at the top of the tree as you had done the night before, you rise up and stand at your fullest height, risen high above all of the trees around you. To which a giant clap of thunder, which I would like any second now.
You did this.
Thunder. Thunder.
Thunder.
The thunder cracks through the sky and lightning just...
You said he's falling?
No.
Damn it. Can I go catch him like he's a prince?
He hasn't fallen yet.
He's just now getting
Wait.
struck by lightning in his cartoon style, like
So,
skeleton see-through.
he-
Let her speak. Damn.
As the lightning comes down and hits you, for a moment you are completely blindsided. Like you were not paying attention and you did a dumb. You stood up, man, and you know better than to stand up. And you just, as this
Sorry,
lightning hits you, you have a moment where you hear your name echo in your ears as the thunder echoes around you.
Ooh.
Your body is racked with electricity as the lightning shoots through your body, and you take 11 lightning damage.
Jump change.
But
change.
as it
Not
hits
for a
you,
level 4.
you remain standing. You do not fall,
Mild lightning bolt.
but as the lightning kind of shoots down the tree, those of you that are below watch as lightning almost comes down this entire tree that you saw Marwin climb and leaves a burned spot at the base of it. The roots slightly charred.
I would like to approach it. I'm just gonna go, ooh!
Yeah, I was about to say,
And I'm gonna
like,
go over because
Go pull
tree
that
struck or lightning struck tree is a component I need for spells. So I'm gonna go, oh wow, how convenient!
Okay.
Oblivious to what's going on and just
She
go
doesn't know
over
that
and
it
start
strikes the
taking
tree.
bits of bark off, going, oh, this is great! What a coincidence!
It
Does
is.
it count if
Ruth,
it
can
didn't
you believe
strike
it?
the tree but him?
Technically, it went through
went
him,
through me
Okay.
through
into
the
the
tree, and
Okay.
down through the tree into the roots in the ground,
Oh my God,
leaving
please.
singed earth beneath it.
Well,
I'm gonna walk
Um,
over and be like,
Please let his body fall behind me.
It doesn't fall.
Damn
He's
it!
still
Um,
standing.
It would have been hilarious.
If you were above, what you would have seen as the lightning hit him, his skeleton lighting up in the light for a moment, but then he's still standing there,
Eat
just
it,
left
Joes.
standing, seemingly visually unharmed, though with minor damage.
probably not feeling great.
Not feeling wonderful, but almost a sense of energy, this tingling that starts at your toes and ends in your fingers.
Please tell me his hair is standing up.
I've got a mohawk. It's always standing up.
It is.
It's
So
doing
it
like
is.
it's doing the Caleb
Currently
thing just
real
from the
life.
last
It
one.
is froed out. It is froed out. It looks like somebody stuck you with
His hair
electricity.
always looks
Someone
like,
teased his
But
fro.
worse, it is more fro-like. It is less put in a nice little mohawk and more like.
The lightning struck the mohawk.
As you hear your name booming in your ears, your eyes are blinded for a second, and as you come to, you teeter slightly, but manage to stay up. But that's it.
Please fall.
I'm gonna slide down, and once I'm 3/4 of the way down, I'm gonna jump and rage.
Aw, dang it!
Rage? Yeah, it means I take half damage.
So you're gonna rage and jump off?
Yep. Like full on cowabunga.
From 100 feet up.
Superhero
About
landing.
3/4 of the way down,
Superhero
so
landing.
about 50 feet up.
Okay. How do you calculate fall damage again?
D6 for every 10 feet, so 5d6.
Okay.
How about I catch you?
I don't have slow fall.
I'm raging. I'm good.
Man, I was hoping he would fall, so I'm gonna be like.
I mean, what happened
That's
is
interesting.
bolt of lightning, and then just
Oh, I'm that's not
and
nice.
then a few seconds later, I'm
I want you to still roll an acrobatics for me to see if you land on your feet or not. face.
Oh, let him land on
Oh
his
wait.
face.
Advantage or disadvantage, or not?
Just regular.
Grabbing bolt. Okay.
Regular roll. And it said 5d6, right?
Yep.
That's so
I
weird.
mean, I can try and catch him with my telekinetic
17.
shove, but I don't know if that
Okay.
is really
So as you jump, you literally get sliding down the thing, and you just push yourself off, and you manage to superhero land kind of as you just hit this muddy ground.
the soft now.
But
Can I slow him a little bit with my telekinetic shove? If that's only if you allow
I
it.
feel like
yeah.
it's happening all so quickly.
Yeah, if it's too quickly
yeah,
and
I
require
don't
reaction,
think you
then
would
yeah.
you would really be able to. Hold on.
Only if I was prepared for it.
It's a good catch on spell components.
So
I was just hoping his body
19
would
damage
fall.
halved.
So that way
Camera
Ariana would be
is
like,
spinning.
body's falling too!
Camera is spinning. What?
Cameras.
Alexis said
Spinning?
camera is spinning.
Huh?
That's not us.
No, that thing's glitching, I think.
Oh great.
Is she frozen?
She isn't that.
And
Yeah.
No,
and
she is-
then-
I can
She's frozen in that.
see.
Yeah, she's frozen.
Yeah. End it and then.
Yeah. So end it and recall her on ours.
all right.
Sorry, technical difficulties. So yeah,
Join.
half of 19.
Join.
Yeah.
Join video.
You as you come in for the superhero landing, you hit the mud, and your knees and feet kind of slip wonky as you come down. You manage to stick the landing, but it's kind of like a ha 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 blah. And then you're like, oh yeah, but in your compensation for your fall, you manage to bang up your knees and knuckles a little bit into the ground, so you take the 9 damage. So you just took a total of 20 damage.
Jump change.
Yeah.
You should make the sound of applause for your landing.
What?
Yeah. When
Yeah.
when he lands, he uses the minor illusion. There's applause and cheers. He takes a bow to
He's
the,
just
the
gonna-
trees.
I'm gonna
Looks
grab
over-
a handful of
looks
mud
over at Jacqueline,
and
gives a wink.
launch it at his face.
All right.
As
Roll
he
your
gets
attack.
Oh god.
Do I need? Please don't. I'm just gonna collect whatever bark and. I'm just gonna turn and be like, "Hey, did you see any charred
What would I
branches up
be-
there?"
It's just your attack. So
No.
D20,
Damn it.
D20 for an
Plus
attack.
dexterity
plus
plus.
dex.
Is an improvised weapon.
Yeah,
so
he's
not
just
proficiency.
she's just throwing
So
mud.
D20 plus dex modifier.
Throw would be dex.
Yeah.
16? Oh no, that's wisdom. 17.
17 is my AC.
So you pick it up and just chuck it, and it just across his face as he stands up and is like,
With his
it
staticky mohawk.
it hits his face and gets into his mouth a little bit.
Ariana's just
Yep,
collecting.
around, love. Yep,
Ariana's
around.
just collecting bark. Like having the time of her life.
If you had missed, I was gonna have you hit her.
Oh, well, no, because I'm next to her. I
Oh.
went up with her when she went to
Oh,
look
okay.
at
I
the
thought
tree.
you were standing still here,
No.
and like he had jumped down.
She
and
was
you saw
standing
he
next to me,
behind.
watching me collect
The lightning
it.
struck, and I
Okay,
went
so-
to go see like what was going on, and then like he
He
like
landed.
came down
Yeah.
and jumped.
Okay, gotcha.
And as he hit, I grabbed mud and launched it.
And he landed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. I gotcha.
I'm also
I
silently
gotcha.
snickering that he got struck by lightning because I'm imagining that's what happened based on the state of his hair.
Yes, that's exactly.
Ariana has no idea what's going on, but she's really, really happy that she got these components. She's like, "This is gonna be a great day, y'all. This is great."
Agreed.
Witch bolt. Yep. So she's got tons of components for witch bolt now. She's just like, woohoo! All the witch bolts. All right. Ariana's in a happy mood now.
Bit of randomness.
I would like to use prestidigitation to clean the mud splatter off my garments.
having issues. So, your morning though goes smoothly. It clears up. It does get a bit muggy though. You guys are starting to sweat a bit. It is muggy and probably close on to 85 degrees. You guys are a bit miserable. At least it's starting to feel a bit miserable from what you were used to, because the rain kept it nice and cool for quite a while.
That's normal weather for Jacqueline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing an alarm.
Humid and hot. She's used to that shit.
Yes. So, lunchtime rolls around. You guys stop for lunch. Anything interesting you want to do during your lunch, or do you just want to have lunch and move forward?
Have lunch and move forward.
I guess have lunch and move forward. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who
that'd
is
probably be our
in the
best bet.
lead for
No horse.
The
My
horse
horse.
is going to continue.
She is the
to be-
slowest, so it makes sense she is setting the
Am I still
pace.
perceiving or survivaling?
Yes, survival.
Oh, yeah, surviving.
Receiving.
Oh my
This is a
god.
one,
Yep.
so.
17. 18. 18.
19,
I can't count.
You manage to stay on the path pretty well. You avoid some of the mushier, muddy spots and actually keep to pretty good, firm ground as opposed to trudging through the worst of the mud that is on this path. And your day goes by uneventful. Nighttime rolls around. It still seems pretty clear and crisp. And as the sun sets, you do feel an almost immediate shift to cooler temperatures as the night falls down upon you.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to do anything, or are you just gonna set up camp and go to sleep?
No rain or anything, just
The
cool night.
the clouds seem to have dissipated, and you've had rather clear skies for the second half of the day.
A quick question to the group. I don't recall if anyone's got like detect good or evil.
Detect good and evil.
We do. Because
I do.
Can.
we
I can.
were
Compares it.
supposed to be. I forget, the ghouls were out in the wasteland.
We're not in the wastelands.
No, they were behind
They're
us.
behind
We're in
us.
Yeah, they
we're
are
in
way in the
jungles.
wastelands behind you. You are now in the jungle beyond the mountain that separated the waypoint to those wastelands.
Well, I didn't even, because we started an ED, I haven't even thought about setting anything yet, so.
Well, we never saw anything, so.
Yeah.
I'm just curious with this well-traveled path that supposedly doesn't lead to like any major trade routes or anything.
Just into the jungle, it seems to be a path that is
That's-
going through the center of the jungle.
Mm.
But there have been branches of pathways that sort of just suddenly veer off, and you can see that, oh, that's a path of some sort.
Mm.
But for the most part, there is one, the one that you have been on has been one you have followed since the waypoint,
Yeah.
and has been relatively easy to follow, because it is because of the direction you're going. You are literally going down the middle of this jungle. You are on a path that would take you in this direction. So if people were trying to say get to the coastal area on the far side of
Okay.
this jungle,
This
they
would
would
be-
probably go through the center pathway. However, it's a little more used than you anticipated it being, given like how many people go to the jungle to go up to the ocean, where you don't know what is up there. Like there's no cities. Like you're
Exactly.
kind of like what could possibly be coming through here right now. But it is evening now. The sun is setting to the west. You have gorgeous rays of golden sunlight that are peering down through the branches of the green trees, just barely peeking through and casting little slim, I guess, slivers of light as it comes down through the canopy above you. Slowly turning more gold and shades of orange as the sun sets to the west.
Well, we're setting up camp. Pull
Yeah.
the tab.
Throw it
Same watches as usual.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright.
Set up my dirt barrier.
As he's
Oh
doing
yeah,
that,
his dirt barrier.
Business
could
as
I
usual.
investigate the area around the campsite, see if there's any recent footprints, anything like that?
Absolutely.
Need to know if there's magic around us.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Well, by
Detect
investigating,
magic.
I thought detect magic was implied because
Oh yeah.
just remember,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my mind,
You're just constantly
I'm
casting it.
just spamming detect magic because
Is that,
Brad.
Can you cast it freely?
I was gonna say is that the?
It's a cantrip. He
it's
has it as
a cantrip.
cantrip.
Yeah.
So
Throw
you
high
have to-
magic lets you cast it at will.
Okay.
You
cool.
can
Yeah.
have detect magic as a cantrip or as a first level spell, or is it second level?
It's
It's
I want to
first
say it's
level.
first level. Yeah, first level divination.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah,
be wasting
but
spell
yeah,
slots,
as the
but-
draw magic
yeah, as long as
thing,
you
it lets him
constantly
cast it
yeah.
as a
Spam
cantrip.
it.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
roll to investigate
Mm-hmm.
I think.
With magical detecting abilities.
with enhanced magical investigating abilities. Let's see.
I wonder if that tree would have triggered detect magic if it was struck with lightning.
23.
To become a magical lightning tree.
Pretty good. Okay.
I'm always
As you start
confused.
inspecting the
Investigate.
mud from the rain that had previously fallen here, the mud itself is still pretty fresh. And as you look through the brush around the path and the mud that you guys have kind of been trying to avoid as you guys walk, but still kind of mucking through a lot of the time, you see animal footprints. You can see that there is definitely some kind of life in this jungle, though you guys have only primarily heard birds and crickets. Not many things seem to be bothering you. Almost like they hear you coming and just kind of stay out of the way. Your moorbounders may have something to do with some of that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
But the there's, as you kind of start to get towards the edges, as in, further up the trail a little bit, as you're kind of starting to skirt around up one of the routes and you're looking around it, you see below a footprint that you did not make, nor anyone in your group, because you had not traveled this far yet. It almost looked as if someone had stepped on the same branch you were and their foot slipped into the sludge below. But otherwise there seems to be no sign of anything else.
It looks fairly recent.
Well, it had to have been since the rain. But this is a tropical type jungle setting, a rainforest, so you're gonna have a lot of rainfall. So the mud is usually there, just in various stages of hardness.
Yeah.
This one kind of appears to be newish, but it could have been any time within the last week to 2 weeks, depending on how heavy the rainfall's been in that particular area. It's definitely a deep pocket of where they fell into it. You can see their full weight slipped into it, and there is just a foot pocket where water has pooled from the depth of the mud.
Can I tell, like, approximate size? Like, is this
Because they didn't fully flatten their foot into it, they just kind of went down into it. It's really hard to tell because they're slooshing into mud.
okay?
But it does appear that though they are being very good at covering their tracks, there may be more foot traffic through here than you visibly see. Because this is the only footprint. You see no other evidence. So,
Alright. Well, I would, once I'm done with my enhanced investigation, I'd like to go back and give a short briefing to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Hey, obviously this is a more traveled path, and I've only found one recent-ish footprint. So,
That means we're not alone out here at the very least.
at the very least.
alright. So, almost like clockwork on the first shift.
Huh.
The clouds roll overhead.
Rain.
More rain and mud.
Orange?
What fell?
Excuse me.
Just fun. Or
Yeah, just one.
I thought you were holding the glass. So I thought water went everywhere. Oh my
No,
God.
that's coming from the sky.
Well, you see, I'm so
That's in
short.
our
If
shoes.
anyone was to pour water from a glass above my head, it
Everything's
would
from
seem
the
like
sky.
rain. Everything's from the sky.
Same.
Fruits basket.
A shoe fell from the sky.
yes.
Fruits basket. When the little boy kicks off his shoe and she's walking down the street and she goes, "A shoe fell from the sky." He's like,
I wonder where it came from.
it's like, look up.
And he's like, the kid's like, "Hey, idiot.
Yeah.
Can you get my shoe back?"
It's so cute though. That's Hatsuhara. No, it's Hero.
Hero.
The ram.
Alright.
spicy also.
Hero.
So like clockwork,
It's a baby.
the thunder rolls in, the clouds darken the sky, and the rain begins to fall. You first watch. Who's first watch?
Marwin and Bo.
Owen and Bo. How fitting. And as the rain, you hear the rain do the typical rushing in as the clouds enclose overhead. The
It is a
The rain.
rainforest.
just falls, hitting the canopy above you. You realize there is actually a bit of open sky above where you are. That seems to just pour directly on the tent. You who are in it can hear as it drums on the outside of the tent. You are safe, no leaks, everything seems fine, but you can hear it as it just pounds. It sounds like a torrent as it pours on the outside of this tent. But around you, only drips around the tent elsewhere where the canopy closely knits over top, and the water just peacefully drips down as you sleep.
I'm going to
So
move the tent with my mold earth to another
Just
location.
move it over slightly so
Yeah.
that the rain's
Yeah.
not.
Everybody's
Yeah.
sleeping. We all just feel.
It's like I'm in the tent. You see the tent and the earth move a little over.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Just the layer of earth right
Marwin's
underneath the
leaning
tent
against
moves
the
it.
tent, realizes he needs to pee, gets up and goes to a tree, walks back. Where the hell's the tent? Shit!
The tent
I wish
moves
I had the drink.
5 feet
I was
over
gonna
to
say.
a spot that's not in such a
He just literally
Loud
moves it
rain.
up the bank a little.
yeah.
So that it puddles beneath it.
Yeah.
Literally, the way you just kind of move it up like that, there's actually now a dip here that slowly just kind of fills a natural creek right in front, like a little lake puddle in front of the tent.
I think I have to see. So like, I poke my head out. I'm like, my head's
You
just
heard the
poking
rain
out of
and
the
you
tent.
were like.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is not working.
Well, everybody else is just.
He's like, I can't sleep with this. It's
Like,
too
don't
noisy.
worry, guys. I got this.
It's exhausting detecting magic all the time.
All right, who is my second? Or do you want anything to do anything during your?
I just want a Twizzler.
Can
Hey, me
I-
too. Yoink it! Rip it out of there! Tear it to pieces!
No, it's stuck together.
Yeah, Janelle, just give that one too.
Maybe a 5 or 6 if necessary.
So short.
Thank you.
Anybody else want one while I have one?
All right. Did you want to do anything?
He's wanting to commune with the traveler, and when
Yeah.
I see
Pass
him
this to Sarah,
starting to
'cause I
set
don't
his
wanna throw
stuff
that.
up, I'm gonna look and go. So
Pass it down.
Anybody else?
Take
You're,
it down, pass it around.
your grandpa and I had a question that
You want one?
maybe you can ask your friend. Your mother asked where you were, and he wouldn't tell her. Why is that?
I told him. not
I'm
to
just
tell her.
curious.
I told him not to tell her.
Hi, Curious. I'm Ariana.
Tablet.
She already
Oh
just.
shit, tablet.
Oh,
Does Tablet die?
It died.
It died?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
died.
it's dead.
Yes, it did, because that just disconnected.
Well
Okay.
then.
Is this?
Is she still connected to you?
Oh,
I
that's
still have
a
visual.
She is smiling and laughing.
USB-C.
Well,
You can still hear us, right?
I can.
She can still hear us, but I don't know if
I
the
can.
people, if the stream can hear her because I have
Yep.
her muted on mine.
okay. So, she's quiet for the moment while we try to
She's
fix
sleeping
that.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sleeping anyway. So just hang tight. We'll fix it while we talk, cause being proactive now.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to commune with the traveler, or are you just answering his question? I'm sorry.
Both.
Well, okay.
Because
First,
I'm like
though.
setting my stuff up, and he asked me the question.
Okay. Okay.
He'll be settled with the answer of I asked him not to. He'll go. All right, fair enough. Do your thing.
Okay. Now, are you actually like casting commune, or are you just praying basically?
Just. I guess just praying, because I don't have.
Just
commu-
want to talk
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Just
What are
wanna
those
talk?
conversations like?
We have to do
They're not
it
all about dicks.
right
I
now.
promise.
We have to do it right now. That's what we're here for. Do it.
Yeah, commune is a 5th level spell.
Oh yeah.
You don't have that.
One more level. One more level.
Is it a level 5 spell
What
or
is
a
Or
this?
is it-
There's
level
commune
spell?
and then there's another one.
So
Those are
it's
even higher.
not one more level. To
Oh, it's 2 more levels.
It's
Yeah.
a few.
Yep.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Because we're only at 4th, so then I'd have to be like 6th, right? Or no? Yeah. No, when we go to 6th, I am.
Go talk to the traveler.
Okay.
We're waiting.
So describe to
We
me.
have an extender for you
What?
there somewhere.
Oh,
We have a spare
Right
cord
Right there.
Right there. Perfect.
I can't reach that.
There we go. Perfect.
technical difficulties.
So sorry. We'll be up and running in no time at all. Just give it a few minutes.
Wait. Go.
Meanwhile, listen to this glorious thunder.
Thundercats ho.
Oh.
So he's just worshiping.
Yeah. Are you wanting to specifically talk to the traveler, or are you just spending some time praying and worshiping, basically?
Yeah, just praying and worshiping.
Okay.
Not gonna talk to him quite yet.
Not quite yet.
Not quite.
Yeah.
What was your character's name again, Garrett?
Marwin, but you can call me Win for short.
Wind.
Win.
Win. W-Y-N-N.
Oh, I'm asleep now, I guess. Yeah, we're doing watch. I was gonna
Yep.
ask you, like,
I'm gonna
Silver.
call you Morrow, because I can.
Throw you around again.
I mean, to be fair, you call him boy.
Maybe I liked it.
Oh
I like it
boy.
rough.
Well then,
Just like my mom.
I mean, you might not be wrong.
I know, that's why I said it.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Excuse
automatically
me.
turn back on.
10 out of 10.
You should be able to turn it.
You might need to
on.
hold the
Yeah, you're gonna have to
power
hold
button on
it.
the top left.
No.
It
My
might need a little
dice.
bit of time to recharge to get like a base level
Yeah.
power
It says it's at 3%.
before
Oh,
you can
that's
turn it
good.
on again.
I think I might sneeze.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Who is the second?
that would
Okay.
be
Actually,
Northrun and Ariana.
Second watch, Win's gonna climb a tree.
Of course he is.
Don't get struck by lightning.
didn't look as
next
less than the last time.
Are you
But-
going to stand or sit this time? Are you
It's
sitting
just gonna
kind
be
of
a
on-
little set of eyes just peeking above the tree line. Just.
All right.
Waiting for
And who is
Ariana
it
to go out in the
next?
forest alone so he can watch you too.
Right.
Fucking pedos.
All right. So the rain just steadily continues to fall.
That's a fucking painting.
Fan art painting of Matt looks like a fucking screenshot from the
That's a
stream.
painting, y'all.
I know.
Nice. There was another one someone did that was
Oh,
in
it's
grayscale
great how-
of Sam, and it
How
was
Mariah
just
and
like.
I are like, yep, I believe it. And everybody else is like, whoa. And we're just like, yeah, that's it.
Oh, I believe it.
It's
Where
just
did
so
you put my
amazing.
art?
Good.
I didn't know they had.
Anyway, we're on deck.
It
We're
wasn't
on
here.
deck.
dedicated stands.
Alright, I don't have to commune tonight. I already did it. Unless
trucker.
there's something you want to talk about with
What
my
are you guys saying?
character.
My leaves.
What leaves?
They may have
The
gotten put in
leaves
the
you saw
office.
that I told you? I wanted
Oh,
to show
you
the
put
drop.
them like over here somewhere or over there.
They were on the thing, and then now they're not. So,
My question is, was it a digital painting or was it actual paint?
Actual. Oh,
I'm not
maybe.
sure.
It looks like a digital painting.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I bet you they just went over it.
It looks like digital.
Is it not doing it my
My thing is broken, so
What thing?
that it doesn't
Oh.
connect anymore. Somehow it snapped off.
Got the shine on his forehead.
It's digital.
Yeah, it's digital, but it's meant to have a realistic texture. So they used a what looks like an oil style brush.
You dumped it in the bottom drawer.
Ah. I didn't dump it. I put it in there so it wouldn't get messed up.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. They did a good job.
I need to find the other one of Sam.
Well, now it's at
amazing.
2%, so that is not going to work. I'm gonna have to get the other one out.
Oh, what does it have?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think the USB can charge it enough to keep its
Keep
power
up,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like
So then I
plug it
need
in
my
or something.
bag.
to the wall.
Unless we unplugged all the other things.
Well, I think
The-
the
my
USBs are only like a very small trickle charge.
Yeah, they
no matter
only do
what.
so much.
This
Can you
yeah,
press
they're
it?
like
Like an
point
max of 2.1?
whatever.
Oh, the black one.
Oh, it's
This
a
is
max
the-
of 2.1, so then it's less than
Unless
that.
you
It's
have
like
a
a
problem is,
0.5.
it
fast
depends
charge
on
type.
how much
Um,
else is plugged
I'm
in.
working on this
Otherwise.
one right now.
Oh, it limits it.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Because if you got tons
I
of
like
stuff
this
plugged
one.
into it,
It's
can
for
only
one of the teachers at my
send
school.
so much.
This one's cool.
And it's
to
colored
all of
pencil.
them.
I thought it was just. a
I have
small
this. It's fully charged. 2.1.
Now you know how to food.
So it has two. There's the
What do you mean?
1A and
Not
then there's
kissing?
the
No.
Oh.
2.1.
This one's cool. It's supposed to be
See if that
Plug it
helps.
to the max.
To the max.
To the left, to the right.
No, you said max, not
Oh.
left.
It says it's
I can say
charging.
whatever I want.
Fancy.
This is true.
See if that
Oh.
helps. It doesn't hold a lot, but it should get it.
So, did you guys just decide to do your watch and go on with the night? Nothing particular?
I was gonna say, is there anything you need? For not for her. She's just chilling.
So, the night progresses with no sign of nothing. Just
Sweet.
continuous rain.
No
Next.
lightning strikes.
No.
Way down here.
End of second watch, Marwin's going to less flashy because he's not trying to necessarily show off this time, but he's going to climb down the tree and go to bed.
It's the last time he got struck by lightning.
And
No, it wasn't the last time he was showing off. He got struck by lightning. He got struck by lightning and then showed off. Just this time, he's not trying to be all glistening wet for you.
Ah.
I didn't think you were purposely trying to in the first place.
Oh, the first time he absolutely was. The second time he's just enjoying the rain and now he's going to bed.
So, this time, as you are coming out to do your watch, you step up in the after coming out of the tent and look up bleary-eyed. And, are you just walking straight up to the tent there?
This one.
He's just gonna amble, and the thing that absolutely catches your attention is that he completely ignores you. He doesn't look at you, he doesn't bat an eye, but he looks happy AF. Like, he is soaking wet and just looks rejuvenated. Like he is, oh yeah. And he just kinda doesn't pay you the time of day, doesn't even seem to acknowledge your existence as he just walks into the tent and goes to bed. In a strange sort of,
In his own world kind of thing.
yeah, but somehow like kind of cool, you know, that when you watch someone who is just content in what they're doing, he's not intentionally being aloof, he just is.
He just is.
And it's kind of like, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And as I step out of the tent, I'm going to notice that it's not in the same place it was when we went to bed.
You're like,
You're like, what's going on?
Bluetooth off.
I'm like-
menu and
you're gonna be like, wait, what? What? What?
I'm just gonna like oddly like just kind of like walking, like turning and like looking around, all confused.
Did the tent move?
Press the button.
So the
Yeah, right there.
rain continues to pour. Do you guys have anything you want to do during your? Well, obviously we need to wait for her.
Yeah, because we can't.
And I can't get it to connect on this one to the speaker. So
What?
Technical difficulty.
We are so sorry.
Can the stream hear her? Or
No, because
what is she connected to?
so
Discord.
she was connected to. She's on Discord. She was connected to a Bluetooth speaker, which the mic was catching the speaker.
Oh, so the mic for the stream is that
Picking.
one.
Yeah, that's the mic for the stream. It was picking up the Bluetooth speaker.
Her mic, okay.
Mhm.
this is it.
In order for the stream to hear
Mic
her
goes
off
this
of
way.
my computer, I would have to unmute her on this and turn on my desktop audio.
Yeah.
I just, with the way everything's set up, I don't want to do that because it'll also pick up a double of the mic. Yeah. So I would rather not. That's why I had her mute certain things on there, on her end. That thing has certain things muted, and then I have certain things muted on here, so that we just get the one audio. Because if not, the viewers are going to hear a whole bunch of echoing and all kinds of stuff.
The endless reverb loop.
Oh, and it's so annoying because it eventually gets so high pitched that it can make your eardrums bleed. Because each time it goes through, it gets more and more high pitched.
Yeah.
And it'll eventually reach a point where
Put alcohol in
your eardrums won't be able to handle it.
Ba-ding, ba-ding. Oh, no, she's messaging.
She said I wasn't planning. Oh, fuck, it went away.
Wasn't planning on doing much. Is it pretty
Cloudy out, like no moon.
Still
Yeah.
says connecting.
It is raining and cloudy.
Did not.
So there's I mean, so far all that seems to be happening on your watch is just the continuing rain as usual.
More rain. Lots and lots of rain.
Rain, rain, go away.
At least we won't be dehydrated.
She asked if
That's
she needs
not
to
how
roll
rain
a
works.
check for anything.
Yeah, I mean, she can send the
Send
her
her familiar
bird.
route, or
Yeah.
her-
Oh, will a bird do okay in the rain?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Birds
under
can fly in rain.
Just don't make it a bee and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it should be okay, especially if it's like a hawk or an eagle of some sort.
Yeah.
It should be
Okay.
perfectly fine as long as it doesn't go too high and get struck by lightning.
As long as it doesn't have a mohawk, the bird should be fine.
Sounds like it.
She rolled a 16.
The bird goes flying through the woods, and it's dark, it's wet. There doesn't seem to be a lot happening. Everything kind of seems to be asleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
all seems well.
So he didn't run into anything interesting?
Nope.
She says thumbs up.
All right. Last but not least, right? Is that who we're on? Yep.
Yep, the two blind mice.
I cast light.
That was not the one I wanted to get to.
I mold the mud off of myself.
You what now?
I mean, I can make the ground I walk on
Solid?
firm.
Less squishy?
Not, I mean, I assume like mud is difficult terrain. I can make it non-difficult terrain as one of the effects, or I could just like mold the mud. It's just
Okay.
keeping myself
Is it
clean.
cantrip that you have?
Yeah,
Oh.
mold earth.
Neat.
I mean, I can clean myself with rest institution, but
Yeah.
yeah, mold earth is good. That's how I'm making the fortifications.
Yeah. I thought it was like
Yeah, but wouldn't that drop
Like
the
the
mold
spell
earth off of the? No. So would it drop the mold earth off of, from around the tent?
So
already
it's
molded.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
it's more. I think.
So I
right?
can
It's more
move-
like
I'm just moving
it
the
shapes
earth.
it and leaves it.
Yeah, it's not
But
a
as far as
concentration
the
spell, is
difficult
it?
terrain thing, those effects, I can have 2 of them going and they last about an hour. But
Okay.
like the earth that I move, like big
Alexis,
earth
can you
moving,
hear us?
It's moving
Yes.
the earth. It's gonna last. It's not gonna like
Okay.
magically disappear.
All right, can we hear
Tons
you?
of earth.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on that battery.
Yeah.
That battery's at 16%.
Oh golly, is it
Oh, it
plugged
says
in?
it's charging. It's got the little
There's
electrical.
a weird echo.
Yeah, it's just a matter of
If
whether
it's not going
it-
down or not.
Hey Brad, when it gets
I'll
to
keep
20,
an eye
plug
out.
it back into that.
All right. So, as the centaur and Ristos emerge for their morning hour, you guys. You guys are out on watch for a little while when you notice that there is definitely an increase in rain.
Monsoon.
The rain starts to pour down harder, though it doesn't seem to be doing much where you're at. Like you can't, it's not really coming down through the trees much more. You can just hear that it is clearly coming down harder. But you suddenly, well, I need you to roll a perception check, please.
Oh.
Bamboo?
Yes.
I will help you with yours.
Would you like to use the dice tray that I have? Or are you gonna give her advantage?
I mean, it doesn't really matter because like we
17.
would both be rolling it, so.
You hear
Oh, I have.
in the distance kind of a strange
Yeah. Just, I'm proficient in it.
sound. It sounds, it's very hard to pinpoint quite where it's coming from, but it seems to be a distant roaring of sorts. And as
Oh no.
as you are trying to figure out which direction it's coming from, it gets increasingly louder and louder until you where
We might need your mold earth.
Now you had moved the tent up kind of onto the side, almost like up off the main beaten path where there had been like
Yeah.
mud and the rain
Yeah, I
pouring
moved
and
into
stuff
a
like
drier
that, right?
spot, or at least
Mudslide.
away from the open.
Away
called a
from that
landslide.
growing puddle that was in the
And
middle.
they are bad.
Okay, so
I can't fight that.
He can.
as you guys are trying to figure out where it's coming from, you're like looking around trying to figure out where this sound that seems to just come from all sides all at once, rushing, roaring sound as you look straight ahead, not like kind of in the main pathway, and you see trees going like this as water is rushing your direction.
Oh shit.
There is a flash flood.
No.
From
Fill the dirt.
Oh dear.
all the rain.
You better run inside.
And I need for you two to roll for initiative.
Oh no.
Initiative against the flood.
Initiative against the flood.
Yeah.
The flood strikes from
Just the two of us?
Yes, just the two of you. Everybody else is asleep in bed.
Oh God.
I will note the elves are not asleep. Trance, you're not asleep. You are still fully aware of what's happening around.
Okay, then you can roll a perception for me. Thank you.
I think that is just full elves. I don't know if half elves
Well,
have
she's
it.
a
You have
half
to
elf.
check.
So
Then let
Is
me.
it-
Oh, so me?
yeah,
Let me pull up the Fey ancestry from the player's handbook. Unless
I-
someone has a player's handbook.
Fey
Only
ancestry?
need 4.
Well, yeah.
So Alexis.
Nope.
I don't know for half elf if it's the same
Well, Alexis
as.
is a full elf. Or Rowan.
I think it's just full elves. from
Rowan's
what I remember.
full elf, right?
I'm pulling up half
Yeah.
elf.
Yes.
half elf.
So you only need 4 hours of sleep a night too,
No,
right?
it's not the Fey ancestry. I'm sorry, it's the trance,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
which is just I think full elf.
Yeah, they don't need to sleep, instead they meditate deeply, remaining semi-conscious for 4 hours a day. Blah, 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 blah. Oh.
While meditating, you can dream after a fashion. After resting this way, you gain the same benefit that a human does from 8 hours of sleep.
Just so you know, this is working out really well because the way they have this set up, you're literally pointing at Alexis.
Oh, perfect. So she and I, as the full elves, can make.
Yeah, you guys can make perception checks for me to see.
She's already had full sleep then.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah,
She
and I
already
would-
there, and he's just like pointing directly at
I
her.
would have gotten
pointing at her screen,
two,
Yeah.
two while I was up there, kind of just enjoying the rain, and then two. So basically, second and third watch would have been when I was asleep.
You
Or
still have to roll to
trancing.
hear.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I have alert, if that affects it, but I don't think it does.
So I got a 10.
Oh.
20,
So you being struck by lightning really
You
messed you up.
got a little ringing in my ears.
18 plus 5, whatever that is.
A lot.
18 and 5
Yeah.
is 23. 22.
Yeah,
23.
23. 23.
so
Alright, just a
I'm
second.
very much aware, I would assume.
So I did build
She
a
has to roll initiative too, right?
wall/berm around our tent
Yeah.
for defensive purposes. But
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
if
how
it's a
much of this.
flood, that's
I don't know how
not-
much this. How tall this flash flood
Flash
is.
floods, flash floods are bad. They usually will wash away any kind of dirt or clay or.
They
Like
and
they'll
they
move, they'll pick
move.
up a car.
You're
They
looking
will.
at
Yeah,
120
it's-
feet per round.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Like, it
it's
is
not that about height. It's about speed.
It's bad. It's very destructive.
And now at this point, we need to get height.
You need to climb a tree.
If
Or get out of its
I
path.
Or get
can't.
out of the path.
If
I'm
there's-
just like
I'm dead asleep.
pull myself up.
our best
Well-
course of action is to get out of its path because any trees we climb can be washed away.
Well, I'm thinking if anyone's got fly.
I have
I got the
levitate,
higher
but that
level
only works for
spell.
me.
That is way high level spell.
Yeah.
How heavy is?
Levitate.
How heavy is your tent?
I can pull the tab on my tent and it'll disappear and that's
Yeah,
it.
but
for
we
the day.
have
Will it
like
kick
a
people out of it or
Yep.
kill them?
It'll kick people out.
Yeah, everybody will just be there.
certain amount of time.
Will
Can
we get
you
crushed if we were in it?
form
No,
earth
you're magically
there?
ejected
Oh, no,
as the
fly's
tent
a
folds
third
itself
level
back up.
Are you able to form earth upward?
Is that what you're
It
doing?
won't
a
make
bunch.
much of a difference. It'll just wash it right away.
That'll wake all of us.
Well,
Yeah.
it,
As
it
it
depends
hits,
on
it'll
if I
collapse it.
noticed. Was my 10 perception enough to notice the
No.
then nope, that is not what I'm doing.
Does Alexis notice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alexis, while you are sitting in the tent, just kind of quietly
How's the battery life?
meditating,
Still 16.
you also notice kind of a strange low hum at first. It just sounds like something is and you're like, what is that? Like almost like you have a mosquito in your ear. And you're like, what? And then you listen a little bit more and it starts to grow louder and louder and louder. And is coming upon you very quickly. You notice whatever it is. And I guess you are also going to have to roll for initiative there. I need to thing.
17.
Nice. Okay, give me a second. Let me
38.
swap.
Oh. That was my other one.
Yeah. Very well.
He's supposed to be in.
Like I have a notebook that I've been using.
I don't know who it's from. I just remember a bunch of people randomly shouting.
Yeah, Fetty Wap.
I don't know what that is.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He's
I
a
just-
rapper.
My notebook. I have Right.
An
Oh.
initiative notebook, basically.
I think this might be it down here. Yes. Well, no, it has all my notes in it. All of them.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
Everything.
Oh yeah, like see, I have them. Yeah, see, I wrote down all the characters and everything. Alright. I'm gonna use my fancy shoes again. Oh, what happened? Alright, so. Holy shit. Oh my god.
I read that so funny. Oh, thank you.
Alexis, what was yours? 17?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was everybody outside's?
16.
16, and yours?
Ristos.
Paul?
Mine was 14.
14.
My condition.
So 17, 16, 14.
Somebody want to just look out the window and make sure dogs are okay?
You might be hungry. Say another time. Okay. So
Oh my.
my dog's throwing a temper
Very
tantrum.
dramatic.
Oh yes.
Dramatic pupper.
Very. Alright, so, the,
Bear's fine. He's just being a big baby.
he wants food.
He wants in. Like he saw me, he saw I didn't come out, and he was like, like he's like upset.
Well, it's dinner time too, so they're
They get food.
yeah. But the flood actually has initiative.
The flood.
Of course it does.
Wait a minute, we're playing D&D, not
Oh, the
Halo.
flood.
Fuck.
So as
Flood.
as you two see the flood starting to splash up in the distance, and it is relatively
That hurt.
far away. Where did all my pens go? Gosh darn it, guys.
You stole all of them.
Alright, so, like, I'm just gonna kind of make little marky marks so you guys can kind of see.
So it's a defined path that the flood is going towards the lower land.
Okay, so, yeah, it's pretty far away from you guys still, but it is moving towards you at a very fast rate, and as it comes swooping through, it seems to be hurling bits of debris and other crazy bits of mud as it comes, and, Zoria.
Has anybody here actually seen a flash flood?
Yeah.
I have. They're terrifying.
Thank you. I was just making sure that everybody knew what we were up
Yeah.
against.
Pretty sure we all understand.
If not, I can look it up.
No, like we know.
Yeah.
I saw one in Jumanji too.
Yeah.
I've seen it in real life.
I don't need an ad. Blah 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 blah. Alright. It's worse than that, but it'll give you something. Alright. As it comes racing through, Zoria, I need you to make a dex save.
Natural 20.
Woo!
You gotta
For
bury that
25.
dice, man.
Nice.
My beautiful pink agate
Okay then. Well, as you are standing there, a small stump of some kind seems to be hurled past you, and you manage to just dodge as it flings beyond you and slams into another tree.
So it would be Mario Hop.
It is now Rowan's turn, and the water is probably, well, I want to say it's like 100 feet away.
Oh no.
100 feet?
I can't hear her. Okay.
I'm gonna leave the tent
You should wake your
and
buddy
try
up.
to find
Are you gonna
higher
wake?
ground.
Are you gonna
I
wake
have a
anybody
plan,
up?
but I want to see CFO first.
Are you gonna yell as you run out?
Yeah, I'll yell as I run out, and my plan was to have the birds also like screeching as loud as humanly possible.
Okay. So the rest of you suddenly hear this.
I would probably have shown everyone how to take the tent down. So as
You did in our last session.
Yeah, so as she's running out, she could yank
Yeah,
the tab
you
and that
can as
Let's do
a.
that.
All right, I'll let you do that as a bonus action.
Yep, just as she's running, just
Yep. And so all of a sudden, you guys are getting groggily woken up to this haste, this loud squawking from her bird, and suddenly you're on the floor, like your butts hit the mud. Yeet! And you guys are like, what the? As you look up and you just see water in the distance, this loud roaring in your ears.
So would I be able to like know what was going on since I'm familiar with like water and ocean and
Make an intelligence check.
oh gosh.
I'm gonna start gathering my things.
You haven't rolled initiative
All of your
yet.
things are in the tent.
Yeah.
Oh.
You said no,
23.
everything got kicked out of the tent.
You got kicked out of the tent.
so
Stuff-
you
Stuff's still
can you
inside.
can
Stuff
like
can
store
stay
stuff,
in the
That's my
tent.
bad.
Natural
like
20,
in
so 23.
like in the storage
23.
containers that are in the tent, and they will fold up with
Oh,
the tent.
okay.
But then you can only get to them from the tent, which can only be used once a day.
Oh shit.
So
I
anything
would
that's
have grabbed
currently
my
left
bag.
in the tent today,
Yeah,
we
that's
just
fair.
won't have today. But
Just
we could
specify.
reasonably say that like your weapons and stuff would be
On your
something
On
you
your-
wouldn't put in the storage thing necessarily.
And
I
so
mean,
keep
no,
them
that's
by
what I'm
your
saying.
weapon.
Like on the bed, she probably would hang her component pouch and then put her staff.
then
like,
they would
against
just
the
fall
wall.
next to you.
Those would
So
have fallen next to you, but like
Okay.
he probably would have put like a backpack or like the handy haversack, except you're on watch, so you may have it.
yeah, she probably.
That would
I assume
probably
she
get
has her
put
stuff.
in the storage for in the like any
Okay,
change
yeah,
of
no, I
clothes
was
and
just
shit you
thinking
got.
like, you know, she probably
Like
like
Marvin's
dresses
extra
down
pants.
a bit, takes her shoes off and stuff, so all that
Marvin
stuff.
doesn't have
All that
extra
stuff
Yes,
is
he
in there.
does.
You
They
are
were in the
wearing.
tent.
No, I mean like
That's
whatever,
put your extra
like
pants
she would
on.
put her boots
That's-
at the end of her, like
So you're
next to her
naked
bed
now.
No,
and
he has
stuff.
extra pants.
That's
Right.
what he said.
Three
That would
pairs.
all pop out.
Now he only has two.
He said as long as it's not in the storage
I have a feeling
container.
one's gonna be a flagpole.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But remember, you have raging water in front of your face and you're on your butt.
Yes.
120 feet away.
And so you
Can the more
can
swim?
stand up for half your movement, and then you will have to pick up your stuff, and then you will only have half movement to get away.
Yeah, because picking up
That's
stuff
fine.
can be done as part of the
Yeah.
same
Don't
thing.
forget you have more bounders.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, when the tent got collapsed, the moorbounders were
Yeah,
released.
because they were bound to the supports of the tent for
So they would be-
basically this reason.
They would be reacting themselves, which reminds me.
Mhm.
Roll
How
for
many more bounders are going to die?
How many do we
Or
have?
run away.
7.
70 speed versus flash flood.
I mean, if they use their action, that's 140.
That means
They
they
can outrun
can outrun it.
I can't.
Nope. We are gonna figure something out for you.
Okay.
And I can't fight.
Grab the
Who's-
horse lady and use my axe and stick myself to the tree.
The trees can be washed away too. We need to find high ground.
You need to find a tree with good roots.
They all got good roots.
Or high ground.
You need to find a really big, really old tree that's like embedded itself into the ground. Otherwise, it's
This is
not
a
going to
huge
still be
flash
there.
flood.
even a small flash flood will tear down a house.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fantasy style.
No, so there's a difference between like a flash flood and just like excess water. What we experience here isn't usually a flash flood. Flash floods are usually
Flash flood is there's nothing there and there's a sound and you blink and suddenly there's a wall of water rushing towards you.
yeah, like
at
a
lightning
raging
speed.
river.
Like you really, most people who come across a flash flood are going to get carried away, swept
They're
away.
going to die.
Yeah, it's
Or unless they are lucky enough to get a hold of something. But
yeah,
it's
flash
terrifying.
floods are bad.
They sweep away trees, they sweep away dirt and mud, they can take down whole sides of mountains.
So
like it's
the
pretty intense.
Tomodachi, or not Tomodachi,
Oh, I do need the rest of you to roll your
Tohoku
initiative.
tsunami and earthquake. That tsunami was like flash flood stuff.
And that's 20 on my initiative.
So
So
that
23.
shit flew
Oof.
out.
Like
Got
it's
20.
they're bad.
Oh
Got
god.
Like rivers
I
overflowing.
got nat 20.
Yeah.
How much do you
Well,
weigh?
it could be
I
anything
rolled
from a
11.
river overflowing to like
I don't know.
You rolled
Maybe
an
like
11. What
it's
is-
very
Breaking
small
well.
stuff.
Say
All right.
usually
180? Okay,
it'll
plus
happen
180.
from like
Tasha,
a
Brian.
waterfall,
Tasha, what are your guys'
overflowing,
initiatives?
all kinds of stuff.
Oh gosh.
It's bad.
And Alexis.
You're really
Sherry
bad.
rolled.
Oh, she did.
That's why here
Yes.
we still get
She
flash
already
flood
did her
warnings.
turn even.
Yeah, we do need
She kicked her
Donnell's
out the
though.
tent.
But
What?
I
Initiative.
meant Danelle,
Oh.
not Alexis.
Oh, okay.
I was even looking at Danelle when I said it. I
10,
was looking around the table.
10,
18.
18.
15?
Okay.
The flood has initiative.
Yours is 15.
Yes.
Yes.
Yours was 12.
What?
So
Scratch my elbow.
Boo.
That's great. Smoking.
what was Ariana's?
I can give you more than 90.
10.
I can't remember.
So you're like 100 pounds?
But the thing
So
is,
we-
I have the charger for it, so it's long.
Maybe a little
so I
bit
dash it
now.
Okay. And shove a creature technique.
All you
Or
About
run
to
up
be
behind him
seven.
and shoulder
Not
check
just
him
looking
butt. But I can only do that a couple of times before you essentially start up pissing me off. Like anyways.
I'm just gonna ask you guys something. My brain's not It's been a while. Yeah, it's like a day.
Okay.
You want to
All right. So,
I can't fight water.
be more specific.
Jacqueline, it's your
Race.
wait, sorry. Let me back up here for a second. You guys have to wait. Zoria, you just had, or did Rowan get to? Yeah, Rowan ran out. So Zoria, it is your turn, and North, you are on deck. Remember, you are on your butt in the ground with any of your belongings next to you. You just had a log thrown at you, and you dodged it. It is now your turn.
Okay. Oh.
Anything you want to know about the actual water itself that you may have noticed that you would have to roll a perception for if you needed to make an assessment about it.
Mine not 20. Can I have
So nearest trees.
Can you have a what?
for my nat 20? Can I have not, like, I'm not prone when the Ted.
Well, you still have to wait anyway, but yeah. Since you got it at 20, I'll allow it.
Did the moorbounders all scatter? Or
They're on initiative as well, so
Currently, they're right there.
they're all right there. They haven't had a chance to move.
That's what I'm saying. I'll look at the schedule.
You have no time to think at all. You have to do something. Get out of the way, climb a tree, run in a sideways direction. Like,
can I see high ground? Like
Um,
at a glance?
the way that this area was set up is that there seemed to be more of a dip in where the ground for the pathway was, and there was trees and other things that you guys had been kind of following along the side to leave, but then you put your tent here. He moved the tent up kind of onto the side of the deeper ground to get it out of where the rain was going. But you would have to make a perception check to see anything beyond that. Because from what you can tell right now, there's just water coming straight at you.
Well, before we went to sleep, I would have known like where.
Yeah, you would. That was stuff you would all know from when you went to bed. But now you are up. You know that the edges are a bit higher, but like it just. What are you gonna do?
Grab the reins of the Moorbounders and run up the side.
It's actually, yeah.
Could I grab all of the Moorbounders?
Are you
things?
standing right by the tent? You were standing right in front of the tent when
Yeah, I
it
was
closed?
on watch.
Yeah, watch usually implies you're walking around perimeter.
No.
You're not necessarily standing
Not
right by the
necessarily
tent.
with the two
Yeah.
of them without dark vision. He probably would have put light on the tent, and they would have just kind of been.
Yeah, I didn't specify where I put the light. I just said I cast it at a tree. That's what I did last time to give light in the area.
So there was
You're by the
a
tent
surrounding area. So if you are nearby, I would say you could probably grab one or two of them. Because I mean, it's a big space. You'd have to be able to move around. That would take movement for
So
you
she
to grab
can
everyone.
she can double move and grab that doesn't cost an action, or because you're allowed to manipulate
Keep in
an
mind,
object
you
or
move
something.
40 feet and it moves 120.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how I was-
you can get like two of them together and step on them. They're pretty hefty size.
No. Well, they're my size.
Yeah, I mean, if you get two of them together and jump on both their backs, it's more speed for you.
Do the
Just
thing.
as she is
like,
running away from the thing, she's
what's
able
his
to
name?
dart 10
Where he
feet
was
this
on
way,
two
grab a
semis.
couple,
He
and a
was
couple feet this
fighting
way, and
between
grab
them.
a few.
Oh, yeah,
You
roll an
mean Chuck
athletics or
Norris?
acrobatics.
Yeah,
Athletics.
What
So
am I
part of
doing?
that is her having to hustle.
Van
Yeah.
Damme.
Okay, so
Uh,
roll an
roll an
athletics
athletics
for
check.
me
I also think
What am I doing?
to see if you can get
D,
to.
D20 and then
More
add
bounders.
your-
Well, yeah, no, I can
do the.
I don't know what you were
Pullman
talking
X
about.
We're-
Pullman
To
we're-
see if you can get the more bounders while
How
you're
many
running.
more bounders you're able to grab?
played in what women want. Mel Gibson.
16.
He's like,
So if we did the
You're able
10
to do
and then every 3,
2.
yeah, 2 total.
You would be able to grab 2. So you are able to see this happening, and you just kind of swoop in and grab and dart to the side as far as you can go.
can she hop on top of them though and ride them?
No.
Ride them.
Like double, like I mean,
No,
No.
I can't
Oh,
ride them.
She's
Yeah.
too
Have a
big
lot.
to ride them.
They're
Um,
not shoes or roller skates,
I didn't
dear.
take flight
She
or
would essentially need a
take two people.
huge-sized creature to ride, like a purple worm.
yes.
Yeah,
I had
Okay.
And then I'm just
I
gonna
had the
go
mold water spell,
up,
but I changed it out from
Onto
over.
the embankment to the
As
side of it as much as you
high
can.
up as I can.
Okay.
It's like with
Um,
mold water, I would be able to change
it is
the
the
direction of
more
the current
bounders
in the 5-foot air around me,
turn.
which is-
One
so
of
like,
whom
like
is
if I was in
now
the
being
flood,
dragged
I
by
could
you, so it
manipulate
is
the air around me
just
to make
gonna
me flow
stay with you.
where I want to in the water.
Then I have North. It is your turn. You-
Okay.
I'm gonna assume you're standing up,
What?
grabbing your stuff.
But it takes an
Half a
action,
movement.
half a movement.
Yeah, just half your movement.
It was definitely just.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on the assumption that she's still on her ass
Mm-hmm.
right next to me
Yes.
because I'm protected like that.
Well, and we all got spit out into the same
Yeah.
10-foot cube.
Might
So
want to catch a Moorbounder before it runs away.
Who? The Moorbounders are right next to you. You can grab them. You can mount them.
You can revive
Stand up, mount a Moorbounder.
if we have
run
a
off.
body, if we have a
And they move faster. They move 70 feet.
well,
Yeah.
The Moorbounders are right
The-
next to
okay.
you.
more bounders can outrun it, doing their double move,
yeah.
Here's the thing.
which leaves us
Um,
only having to worry about.
I don't.
Bo, do you have a belt?
Hold on. I've got that.
Are you wearing a belt?
It's a concentration.
Is there a belt secured on your person?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shove an arm through his belt.
But if I can get
And I'm
it.
gonna shove an arm, or no, well, I'll pick you up. Under one arm. I'm still on my
See
ass.
North like
I
this.
don't have any of my
Arm through his
stuff.
belt.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna turn to you.
Yep.
Grab your shit.
am I able to do that?
With athletics checks.
Grab
The
my
thing is,
stuff,
you are
or
caught
be
up
in the
water,
process
it's
of
too
grabbing
big
my
to move
component
away.
pouch and my staff?
Well, first off, you're gonna try and lift both of them at the same time.
Yeah. I can cast levitate on myself. And carry up to 500 pounds.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay.
How much do you weigh?
Like 100, if that.
I can only take 2.
I weigh 180.
So yeah.
Because
You can only take how
I
much?
should have left the tent open
500 pounds.
and just
So-
kick
Or
North
what
out.
about
You
people?
can just levitate with the tent.
Because I'm
Oh my
180.
god!
If he's 180
Damn it!
Okay,
and
hang on,
she's 100, that's only
Right.
2
I
people.
couldn't hear what you said about people. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
2
having-
extra people, their weight including my weight, that's all I can lift.
Oh, all right. Let's roll a strength check to see if you can actually lift all of them this time now.
That's
Actually
It's so
part of the
little.
spell.
Is it just part that he actually can?
If he is holding on to them and the total weight is less than 500 pounds, they just.
Oh,
You just
well,
float.
never mind then.
Yeah, it's magic based.
And when the spell ends, they gently float to the ground. They don't even just like.
Well, that's lucky.
Yep. Levitate is very much a poor man's fly, but
It works.
it works in situations like
Hey.
this.
All
Drill
right.
high magic.
So you grab them and just up into the sky.
Okay.
Assuming
So,
She got her stuff. Am I
how
able
would it
to
work
grab-
if she's wanting to grab her stuff?
Like, it's probably right next to me, so I'd be in the
What
process
he
of
can
getting
do is
up.
basically ready his action so that as soon as she has her stuff, like he can grab her and ready so that as soon as she has everything she needs,
Okay.
he casts and goes up. And then on her turn, she would spend her movement to stand up and grab her stuff, and as soon as she
Well,
did,
I wouldn't even stand up because he's probably grabbed me by my belt.
Like he's just scooping her up and going.
Yeah. So all
So all
I'm
she has
trying
to
to
do is
do
grab her
is,
stuff.
is grab.
All right.
grab
Do you
two
want to hold your
things.
action and wait
Sure.
to grab them? All
Okay.
right.
If
so-
I'm allowed to do that. If not, then I'll have to look for my stuff downstream.
well, no, you're on your turn. It would just be that you gather your stuff, and as soon as you start to stand up, he'd grab you.
Basically,
and go.
once you have it, he grabs you and you're gone.
Yep.
So he's just holding his action to do it. You are also.
Are you sure it was this book? Because I can't find it.
What is it for?
What? The swashbuckler?
Yeah.
I thought it was player handbook.
It's in Player's Handbook, yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Swashbuckler?
No.
Yeah, it's
It's either that or it's in.
It might be Xanthos.
I think it might be in Xanthar's. Or
I get the 2 books of everything.
Can you
Anyway.
pass that back?
I need to buy some
because
books.
the only variant in
Or you can
this
go
is the
and
pirate.
Swashbuckler.
Anyflip.com.
all
If you
right,
Google
Ristos,
Anyflip,
it is
but
your
if
turn.
you Google the
Pirate
handbook
is in-
or any of the
Is whose
books,
turn mine?
Anyflip
It's
is
yours
the first
turn.
thing that
Yours
pops up
turn.
on Google.
It is your turn.
Do I know what direction this
Like
flood is
here.
coming from?
That's what I was hoping.
Yes, you
Yeah, but
are
that one has
Download
trouble.
looking at it. It's coming from the direction you were going.
Mm,
Like
okay.
so up the path, the way you would have been going. I'm assuming that you had built the tent initially kind of in the path where it was flatter at the time,
Yeah.
and then moved it up the embankment to get it out of the puddle that it seemed to be forming as you moved it up. So the tent was actually up here. You guys were not directly in the line of the water because of where, at least that you can. Like, you're not dead center of the little pathway. You're off to the side a little bit.
Okay.
Still in the way of the water. just
Still in
not
the way.
dead
You
center.
still have a lot of danger coming towards you. You need to get the heck out of Dodge.
So I guess the best action would be to sprint and jump on my moorbounder and run out to the side.
Okay. Alright. So, you're gonna use your action to just sprint over and jump on and get onto the thing. And
Yeah.
then, cool. So I'm gonna let you do that. And then the one that is going next, ironically, is the one you are on, because I happen to just work out that way.
Okay.
And so the one that you are on is, however, going to freak out ever so slightly.
Just a little bit.
There is a large bit of water, so you, as you are mounting your moorbounder, it kind of just straight up in the air 40 feet. Like, just launches himself straight up in the air. And then it kind of comes down further back up on the thing, a little bit scared.
They
It
can
is
jump like that?
it's more like 20 feet straight up in the air, so it was kind of more of a bound as it like freaked out and tried to get away. So it took you about 40 feet away further from
Good.
the edge of the thing than where you were.
Okay. As long as we get some distance. I'm
Yeah,
cool with
it you spooked him and he back flew, like just kind of thing. It is Bo's turn. What are you doing? He is going to grab you and
So
levitate.
he already grabbed me.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
my-
he's holding his turn, so he hasn't quite grabbed you yet. So you have
Oh.
time to grab your stuff if you want to.
I got a lot of shit. So
Or you could go try to
Did
grab
you-
your moorbounder instead of having him
have your
grab you.
armor on?
well, yeah, I have
Okay.
my armor
No.
on.
You don't sleep with your armor on.
Wait, is it heavy armor or?
No, it's
Chainmail.
chainmail. No, that
Then
I
no,
sleep with
you
it
can
on.
you can sleep with that on.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be
fuck
able
up
to-
for Reeve.
Just my character would not
Reeve
sleep
should have
with
been
her
able to
stuff
sleep in
on.
his chainmail.
Well,
See,
some
but
people, they were talking about sleeping in their armor and
Heavy armor you can't. Heavy armor like full plate, half plate, things like that. It prevents you from getting the
I can
benefit
sleep
of
on
long
the bunker
rests.
gear.
Because you can't sleep comfortably in a big metal
That's it.
tin can.
It doesn't matter.
Ford or
Doesn't matter if it's
rather
comfortable.
I have 3 items I have to grab.
More casual, not.
Well,
what he got
Shield,
stabbed
it may
with.
also
my
be
hammer.
home-
No,
homebrew.
4 items. My
And
shield,
that's
my
that's
hammer,
also too. It's just a matter of
the
like if you're not
axe.
expecting a fight, you're not going to be wearing your armor. But like we're camping out in the woods,
Yeah.
we're probably going to have our armor nearby.
So are you just gonna hold your turn, like basically
Just grab all my shit.
grab your stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then it is Ariana's turn. You're grabbing your
Nah,
stuff.
fuck that
Yeah, I'm
thing.
just reaching down, grabbing.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Before you do that, one of the moorbounders is going to you're just gonna see it bolt past you as it runs that direction. Which, by the way, does anybody have animal handling
I don't think I'm proficient.
or
I'm not
anything?
proficient in it, but I can do pretty good.
I have a +3
I have
in it.
+4.
I do.
Or I can use my wisdom.
I would say the
In that.
ranger over there
Okay.
probably.
That's the one ranger skill I did.
All right. Why don't you roll an animal handling for me? Just because I want to see if you understand how this animal works.
20, not net, so.
Okay. So you do. Basically, because of what you understand about animals, you are able to realize that this animal probably knows the safest direction to go to get away from this flash flood that is coming your direction, and it might be prudent to follow it. And so, and it is like on the bank that your guys' tent was on. It is running that direction away from the water that is coming this way. So the water is coming down the path. Your tent was on the side of it, and it is going this way to get away.
Is it going the same way I was going?
Yes. Basically, you
Am
guys,
I going the
you
right
guys,
way?
you grabbed and ran away from the water because the water is coming
I
down
ran
this way.
straight into the water.
You're going straight into the woods this
Well, I'd say
way,
your,
and the
your
moorbounder
moorbounders
is doing
would
the
pull
same.
you in the right direction.
Now it is Ariana's turn.
Straight into
I'm
the
assuming
water.
you were
I
picking
grabbed
up
two more
your
batters and went straight to the water.
My staff and my
your stuff, and as you grab it and finally have a hold of all your stuff, you are suddenly lifted into the air as North grabs you around the waist and hauls Bo up by his belt. You guys suddenly shoot up into the sky. How far?
20 feet.
Okay.
It's 20 feet at a time.
Okay.
How tall's the water?
Well, you'll find out.
Oh, great.
So,
Should have gotten on the moorbounder.
No. It's all good. He
so
grabbed me, I
you
couldn't
you
do
shoot
anything.
up about 20 feet, and then two more moorbounders you see take off running in the same direction, remaining, or a couple more. They book it as that happens, and then Marwin, it is your turn.
Where is the nearest moorbounder to me?
The nearest moorbounder to you. You were in the tent. You landed superhero style. Look at you and your bad self. So you would have been there. You actually do have one that is standing right next to you.
All right.
You actually have two that are standing right next to you.
I am going to rage, reach down and grab Jacqueline, who I'm assuming was also booted
Oh
out of the
yeah, I
tent.
rolled a 23 to see if I knew what was going on.
Oh right, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
Whenever
you
I popped out of the
absolutely,
tent.
you absolutely know exactly what's going on.
I heard the
you
sound and
you
was
heard
like,
the
"Crap!"
sound, and as you landed, you went fuck, and are up on. You know, you're doing the you know exactly what's going on, and you got to get out of dodge.
Yeah.
Panic.
Okay.
All
right.
Sorry.
I just want. I
Yes,
I
you absolutely. I
started
forgot to
looking
tell
through
you
stuff
that. Yes.
and I was. I
No,
got
yes,
distracted.
yes. You do. You know exactly what it is.
Okay.
You have experienced
so-
this before.
Prone or not?
She actually was. Yes,
Okay.
everybody landed
So,
prone.
Rage,
Except for you.
grab you, jump onto a moorbounder, and go.
I
Which
I know what's going on. I ain't gonna complain.
nope. And as you manage to grab Jacqueline, and it's a good thing you did because she went after the flood.
That's what I was mildly concerned about. I'm like, everybody else has been moving.
She
We're
didn't.
gonna get you moving.
She didn't get to, and she rolled a lower initiative than the actual flood.
Yeah. So.
Because
but,
you rolled after the person after the flood had already gone.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
But
you got the short end of the stick, but
hopefully I would have known like what to do in that situation to not die.
yeah, you would have scrambled. You were already on the edge of the thing, so you guys weren't in the direct path anyway so much, but you are on the edge of it. Very much. You are in the way, just not so much that you don't have time to get to the side if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So yes.
My apologies. I didn't realize you can move an additional 20 feet as your movement.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
the
it's
spell
40
you can automatically go up 20,
automatically.
and then I can move another 20.
And move an additional. So you've gone up 40 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the water comes rushing through, though.
I don't like that though.
Let me just hold on a second. All right. So,
39 and a half feet.
the water rushes forward towards you.
Okay.
As the water comes crashing through, it is now overtaken where your camp was and moving beyond it. But those of you that flew straight up, you watch as barely 10 feet below you, the water surges under your feet. You are lucky, my dude.
That
And
Pull a glass out and just.
and it's shooting
Do not
past.
drink that water.
I know.
I will let you die if you drink that water.
Hello, leukemia.
Hello, not leukemia,
Or not
malaria,
malaria. Sorry.
and typhoid
God.
fever.
And God knows what else.
Yes.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
It's just
Oh,
not
yeah.
No.
No. So, as the flood comes
So
raging
delicious.
forward, the loud rushing sound is almost overwhelming as the cracking, the crunching. You watch as those of you who are trying to book it kind of glance over to your shoulder, and you watch as some of the embankment from where you guys were standing just immediately turns to putty and disappears under the water as the water shoots past. The sides of everything just fall. Some of the trees just suddenly bend and fall into the water. You hear loud cracking as everything is breaking and crunching beneath the rushing water. It is Jackie's turn.
I will say that once I've started moving, I'd be keeping an eye out for another moorbounder because I'm currently just awkwardly got her around the waist, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for another free loose moorbounder.
And
try to-
actually,
to
before
try
it
to
is
steer
Jackie's
towards.
turn, there is another moorbounder that was actually supposed to go between you two anyway. That bolted with you. It was the other one
Yeah.
standing next to you that just takes off running alongside you and is running in much the same
So
direction.
once my rage
I can chase that.
subsides, which is at the end of my turn, because I'm not attacking.
I can chase that one down because I'm on my warm-up.
Well, I'm carrying her awkwardly, so I'm going to kind of ride up alongside it and then try to get her onto
Yeah.
it. So
Would
that
I need to do like an acrobatics check? or
So
something?
you guys are actually kind of running it was
Right.
right after
It's following a group like, oh, we're running away.
It was actually supposed to be right after you, so it's the same as the flood. So it's basically at the simultaneous. It's taken off with you guys. So you could theoretically make an acrobatics check and see if you can jump onto it.
Okay. So I have a thing on here that says plus 1d4 to acrobatics. I don't know where that came from. That's what I was looking
I am
for.
almost willing to bet that's your Mark of the Storm.
Oh shit! You're
Yep,
right.
Because you are also a Mark of the Storm elf.
I am.
Let me.
Because I could not figure out where that came
Let
from.
me pull up the Everon.
So yeah, basically you're gonna roll an acrobatics to see, because you're being held there and you're kind of like, oh god, okay, hey look, there's another one, and you're gonna like try to launch yourself over to land on, kind of curling your feet on the side of the moorbounder that you're on to push off and try to grab and slide on to the other one. It's gonna be a complicated maneuver.
Still 17.
No, it was 16 before Avery.
Well, I mean, I checked previously.
Mark of Shadow. That's me. Mark of Storm.
That's at 64.
If you make a dexterity, acrobatics check, or any check involving navigator's tools, roll a d4 and add the number to the check.
So
So
there
you
you
have permanent bless on acrobatics and navigation.
Okay, good.
Then I've got enough.
Well, I
tools
know
and
who
sleight
not
of
to
hand.
bless now.
Well, don't need for acrobatics.
Well.
How bad did I do?
I can still do it.
So as you kind of are getting jostled through this,
Can I attempt to aid by like trying to
Did somebody Siri?
I tried to lock
I'll allow it.
give her advantage on the check so she can roll again, or should I make a separate like athletics check? To
Roll a
try and-
d4. I'm just gonna say that you're kind of giving aid in a sense,
4.
but well, that's handy. So as you are kind of gauging what you're going to do, he sees you gauging it, and he kind of helps. Like he holds out his arms, so you grab his arm kind of different, and you have your feet on the side of the moorbounder, and he hefts and just kind of slings you while you launch yourself off, almost cat-like, and grab for the bounding moorbounder beside you, looping one leg around its neck and just clinging to its side as you manage to pull yourself up next to it. It was quite a feat of acrobatics.
I'm alive!
And it is
Good. Let's keep it that way. Why would you be pissed if I came back without you?
Rowan. Are you? It's your turn. Are you still running?
I would assume so, unless there is something to hop on and run a little faster.
All right. So,
Which way did she go?
when she landed out of the tent, she would have just. I'm assuming you would have booked it the same direction, or would you have gone across the way? Like,
What do you
imagine the pathway you guys are on has like a dipped ground, and so you guys are up on the left side of the embankment. If you're looking at the direction you guys were going, so would you go across to the other side, or would you run continuing on the left bank?
Probably continuing where we were.
The left bank. Okay, so yeah, she's running the same direction
Okay.
as all of y'all. So all of you run for a good ways with the water crashing and clamoring behind you. But you manage to stop after a little while when you realize that the water does not appear to be going in the same direction as any of you, and you have now reached a safe enough distance that there is not debris flying in your direction. You can, however, still hear the crashing and crunching of the trees in the distance as the water rushes through. Dirty water that has a, now that you've slowed down, almost musty smell. Dirty water that very much is not a pleasant after the rain kind of smell.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully if it's raining, it just washes it away.
The rain,
You kind of want to stop raining in this moment. No, you wanted to stop.
the rain is
Prestidigitation
continuing.
Yes.
However, you now have no tent.
Oh, I
The
thought she
sun,
would.
the sun
Yeah,
is
but it can
beginning.
only be used once per day. We can't use it again.
I thought you meant we no longer have it.
Oh no, you have no more.
Oh.
You
Lost everything.
your rest. Those of you in the remainder
We're good.
did not get a full rest. It is morning, and the sun is lighting the sky, though you cannot yet see it through the dense clouds and rain as it continues to pour in the distance.
Starting to not like rain so much.
Right?
This might be a good
We
stopping
can't
point.
finish our
That's what
long
I
rest
was thinking.
outside.
We
So I gotta head out.
we could
Yes.
we could also
Wait, what time
try
is
to
it?
push through the day and deal with a level of exhaustion for
Oh,
those
yes, I mean-
who
Yeah, this would be the day we encounter something though.
well, the thing is it's just ability checks, so assuming we're not dealing with another flood, we should be fine.
Yeah.
And that would just be a matter of we'd kind of take it easy, but we'd still, I think, want to make progress on the day instead of doing another
Now
full
you
rest.
could rest for a few hours just under the trees and get the rest of your rest for those of you that need it.
Or we can do that.
And then just start later in the morning, finish out the trek, and then take an early evening.
And
That
that
is
should,
the plan.
and that should put
Because
us
you guys
at
are
a
not
rate
on.
that-
Remember, you're not on
I
a
would hope for.
timetable. You guys have the freedom to do this as comfortably as you desire to
I
do
think
it.
that would be a good idea for us to stop and take sort of inventory of each
Leisure
other
retreat.
and like where everybody is. Make sure we all like
Have your stuff.
Check on the
reconvene.
Has
moorbounders.
your
How long have
thing
we been
from-
there?
I believe
Or
we
how
are
long have we
short
been there?
one.
Two.
Oh, she got two.
Yeah, up to 10 minutes. So plenty of time for
You're
us
on
to-
one,
he would be
she's
able
on
to just
one,
kind of
he's on
mosey
one.
the float on
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
To
I
where
was
they
gonna
are
say,
two,
can we
three
take
is
a
still
walk
five.
around?
We're short one.
All three of us?
Because she
We're
has
short
one
five.
for Brad and one for.
No, but I mean,
Okay, so no, we are
why
short
not
two.
40 feet?
Yeah.
Or no, is Rowan on
Yeah,
one?
that's not even close
Yeah,
to the
but
height
we-
of the
no,
tree
she's
line.
running.
She's just running? Okay, then,
So we're
yeah,
short
we're
two?
short two
Yes.
more boundaries.
Yeah, 'cause
Are they
we're
still in
further
the
up the mountain.
vicinity?
That's what we'd have to.
Well, if you must know, the two that you do not have spooked real bad.
They did. We're going somewhere.
Rip King.
They rolled nat ones.
They're in the water. They're downstream.
No, they were able to make a getaway before the water got them,
I'm sorry.
but it was chaotically, and you're not exactly sure which directions they wound up going.
They could have ran
Because they
On the other
panicked
side
a
of
little bit.
Wow.
flood. So they'd
Do
be
you have scry?
No, that's a higher level spell.
Scry.
So are we wanting to call it an evening?
Call it an
I
evening.
can-
All right then.
I could track them.
So as you
Beat
stand
my favorite enemy.
in the roaring rain, with the sun starting to peek through and the dripping water around you, you can still hear the rushing of the water, though not as ferociously, as it continues ahead of you down its path that it had chosen. And you realize that is the path that you have been walking.
Oh, so it wasn't people. It was the flash floods constantly creating our path.
And you, as you stand there and realize that you will now have to traverse a much less easy path when we pick up next, because your path is currently flooded and you do not know for how long it will be. You stand gazing at it, kind of taking stock of where everyone is, registering you're missing a few. And as you catch your breaths and your heart's racing slows down, that's where we're gonna end it tonight. And we will pick up again hopefully next week, right?
Yes. I'm off
Assuming-
next week.
Wait.
No, Brad's
Yeah,
working
I'm
next week, so we're gonna do something else. We don't.
Oh,
I don't
right.
know what
Okay.
yet.
I think I was gonna do something random, wasn't
Yep.
I?
But
Well-
the second we should be back with
The
new
Wilde Bunch?
schedule, like
Right.
programming.
We are
yeah.
going to be making new schedules as we figure out the weeks that we can do this particular campaign. We have a lot of people who are
Yeah,
military
my
and have
schedule's
jobs that
all
kind of
Done.
require lots of fun stuff. So we are going to try to create a more secure schedule that we can all work with so that we can be more on top of things as to when and what is being shown. So please keep an eye out. Make sure that you subscribe, like, follow our YouTube channel. We will be reposting all of our stuff so that we can hopefully cut down some of the extra noise, although let's be honest, we're not going to get all of it, sorry. But just to kind of narrow it down, so if you want to spend some time listening to it slowly and not have to be rushed through it, it will be available on YouTube in a little while. Don't know how long, it just depends on how long it takes us to get it uploaded.
Give me a most of them.
Yeah, roughly a week. And then
cut
we
it down.
are also looking to do Dice Hoarders Anonymous. We're going to be discussing our channel. We're going to be having different questions. We're going to bring our pretty dice that we've got because we are all a little bit of a dice goblin. Some of us are working towards Dice Dragon.
Me a little more.
Not just you.
I have a lot
Right.
more than everybody.
So that will be on.
I've probably spent equally as much on 2%.
That will be on Wednesday nights that we will be doing our Dice Hoarders Anonymous. Hopefully we'll have various ones of us on chatting. It may be in person or it may not be. We're also looking at possibly starting a after hours sort of fun time where we'll just be chill and gaming together. Less business and more fun.
Uncensored.
Uncensored.
Wait a minute,
Not that it was censored to
So we're
begin with.
keep an eye out. We're
Yeah.
hoping to have some fun up and coming stuff. Please like and share and subscribe. Make all your friends listen to us. We desperately want you to. And
Tie them up and
remember,
make them listen to us.
remember, you are loved, even if it's just by us.